can do the fifth one.
Okay, fifth. And he has to list the names. I'm down for that. It's not it's just an ad. Oh. Do you feel like it's instead than 1 Senate? Hey Dad, can you show Alex the see like the picture scene that you were showing me in Piper? Can you show Alex? Why can't I go? Oh, hey, stop doing it. Yo, God, can I play something? I think I'll do.
Welcome to Delta Wrestling. We are finally getting started as we are having senior night here at the Delta High School Palladium. Delta is hosting Canyon View, who's made the drive up from Cedar. And we have for you tonight 12 JV matches. After which we will see what time it is and then a little close to 7 o'clock get started with our senior festivities where we honor our senior wrestlers, cheerleaders, and stat girls. Delta, this is their final duel of the year as well, not just their home one. They have one more tournament this weekend as they will travel to the Rockwell Rumble. After that, they'll head to divisionals, which will be next Friday at Union High School. And we're excited for them to be able to see where they are. So they have said that they are ready to get going. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Sorry, I thought this is this about wrestling? All right, can you call you later? I'm sorry to start broadcasting. Okay, all right, we'll see it. Bye. So our first match this evening features freshman from sophomore of Delta, Riggs Anderson, as he's taking on D. Hernandez of Canyon View. Hernandez quick to get the first takedown, 3-0, as we're early into this first round. Some of the names for Canyon View, we were not given a first name. As Hernandez looks to tie the leg, gets high. Riggs has the arm, trying to pull him to the side. He baseballs it across the side. Now he's going to almost turn it into almost like a modified Fireman's, if he can just kind of get his hips over and across. Needs to step over, get his head out. His head is out. That should be a reversal, and there comes reversal. As he adjusts his head gears, it's now 3-2 with a minute 11 to go here in the first period. Okay, both wrestlers come to their feet. Turns in. That's going to be a one-point escape in favor of Canyon View for Hernandez as they go back to the center of the mat. reaching for the wrists. Both fighting for head position. They separate for a minute and then go back to a headlock. As Hernandez, he's able to make another takedown, and he'll extend his lead 7-2 with 38 seconds to go in the first period. Grabbing the ankle, trying to drive forward. Tight waist, goes to the wrist. Anderson did a little bit of a fat man roll. He's in on a leg. He hasn't got any points. 19 seconds to go. He needs to get around the outside. Official points in. And unable to convert anything from there, as we have 10 seconds to go for Anderson to try and score. As he comes to his feet, working the hands, trying to break it off. Needs to spin in. If he could right now, he'd be able to do it. But with 1 second to go, he's not able to make it happen. And unlikely with 1 second to see any change, as the score is 7-2 for Rigan Anderson of Delta, taking on Hernandez of Canyon View. And there we go. We're headed into the second period. It's going to be Green's choice. Okay. He's going to choose neutral. Green is usually given to the home team, but where Delta is red, we like it when the official will go ahead and give us that red wrist for all the things that he's doing. So they start fighting for the hands. Another duck under. Canyon View is able to feel that pressure and adjust, gets a third takedown from that same thing. Now the coach for Canyon View is telling him to cut him, and so he does. He likes how the takedowns are happening as Anderson goes in for his own. He's trying to finish with a double leg, switches to a single, head on the inside, trying to turn around, trying to get around that left-hand side. Canyon View reaching through, trying to block that leg from going in. Laces down, as Coach Morris would say, that Canyon View is working on, and he's able to get the separation. They're back to their feet. Minute 14, scored 10-3 in favor of D. Hernandez of Canyon View. Another shot in, and he's able to bring that leg in on that single. Cuts him again, 13-4. And he's just going to be content to try and get a technical fall as Anderson shoots in. Has the leg. He's able to step over. He'll be able to get the takedown. It is. Now he can hopefully get some near fall as Hernandez is fighting. No near falls given, but he does cut into the lead. And so it's 13-9 with 34 seconds to go. Okay, he's able to get him broke down. Good pressure forward, tight waist applied. He's got that arm that slips out, trying to get him to his left-hand side. As he now reaches across for that far arm, they come to their feet. They're nearing the edge. Careful, he's trying to drag his feet. Able to bring him back down near the edge. Now he's on his right-hand side. If he could drive forward, he's got a half drive, and he's got the arm in the half. He should be getting some near fall. They're in bounds. Oh, and saved by the bell as we're going to head into the third period. Anderson doing a great job that period, tying it up from having a massive, he was behind massively to begin the second period and not quitting. So he's going to choose bottom. We haven't really seen too much of that, as I think Anderson has the ability to get out. Hernandez good on his feet, but not good on the bottom. Okay, Canyon View wanting to go to his feet, so he's going to go ahead and give the 1-point escape. So Anderson, for the first time in the match, he's leading 14-13 as Hernandez shoots in. He's driving in, head pressure down. They're nearing the edge. Nothing yet, and they're going to call them out of bounds right near the edge. They didn't do the clock, so they're going to probably need to run some time off. Okay, in on a shot. Okay, a 3-point takedown. I'd be very surprised if he tries to ride him, but he does so. Coach on the right-hand side was telling him to cut him. But we'll kind of see what happens as now he does cut. Anderson stalks in, taps the head, grabs that right or left arm with his right, tries to drive in. He's able to. If he can grab that leg, pull it in. Needs to elevate it. As they're nearing the edge, he needs to keep him in bounds. Drive forward, drive forward, drive forward. Turn his head with it. Right there, turn him. That should be the takedown if he can get up on the hips. And he gets the three-point takedown. He goes up 16-14, 1 minute to go in the period. And if he can, he's going to try and get some near fall, 2 count of near fall given by the official, but he doesn't give it up, so he's not going to award it because it still could be a pinning combination. He does go ahead and give the 2 points near fall, so the score is now 19-16. I might have misspoke a minute ago of what the score is, but 3-point lead. He needs to hold on. We know that Hernandez will likely cut if he's able to get around, but they are going to go out of bounds. 30 seconds to go. Anderson of Delta in a high-scoring affair leads by 3 points. Okay, coaches go over to talk to the official. They feel like the score maybe should be modified as they're going to go to the table, not blaming the official, the ref, or the official, the coaches, or anyone who's doing the score, because there was a lot of points that were rolling around in that second and third period. So 30 seconds to go as the official consults with the head table, stat girls, to be able to see what is exactly it as they're recounting through. Currently, the score was 19-16. The score cannot go above 10 on our little bout thing. So even though it says 10, it's actually 20-16 for Delta. And it looks like for this match, they're going to go ahead and put it on the home and guest to make sure that fans everywhere will know exactly what it is. Coach for Canyon View giving some advice to Hernandez. Official tells Delta cover. He goes in. Hernandez quick to come to his feet. Anderson's able to break him back down. Has that left wrist, head down for Hernandez as forward pressure being applied. Trying to do a switch. 14 seconds left. Anderson up by 4. And if he can just hold it right there, he's going to be able to win. And what looked like early on a possible technical fall, Anderson showing the grit, is able to come back, score a lot of points, and really we look at it just from the gas tank side of things, really well conditioned, and I think that was a big part of Anderson's success. So great job for Regan Anderson of Delta getting that decision win. 36 points were scored in that match. Now wrestling for Delta, sophomore Logan Townsend. He's taking on C. Shaw of Canyon View. Shaw takes a knee in the middle of the mat. Looks like they're doing a little bit of cleanup somewhere on the mat, so they ran to grab some things. So again, this is senior night. As we get a little closer to that 7 o'clock hour, we'll be recognizing those seniors who are participating in and helping the program. Townsend in with a single leg, tries to pull him down and around, almost pulls him on top, able to save the position a little bit, as now Canyon View spins around behind and is able to get the 3-point takedown. Townsend with a base, but his arm is kind of caught up. Near fall is going to be counted as a tilt situation in favor of Canyon View. Logan's able to get back towards his belly, but he's got to free that arm. Canyon View looked like he was maybe wanting to cradle. Townsend trying to fight hands. Okay, again, trying to come up to a base, and as he does so, balls up and gets caught in a cradle. Near fall being counted, and there's going to be a fall for Canyon View. That's going to put the team score 6-3 as we finish our second match here in our JV matches. We have a total of 11 matches that we're going to be broadcasting this evening. Okay, next up for Delta, sophomore Manny Lopez. And he's going to be taking on Malachi R. of Canyon View. Manny, he's one of our great takedown technicians, really good on his feet, really fun to see him go to work as he's got a really good arsenal that he's done. This is only his third year of wrestling as Canyon View, quick to take a shot, able to get a deep single leg, tries to step over. Manny trying to counter, has a whizzer in. Canyon View looking to elevate it. Good balance by Lopez. Not trying to let the takedown as Canyon View pulls him back to the inside. And Lopez spinning away, frees his leg, and they're able to start back in the neutral position, 0-0 with 1:30 to go in the first period. Manny tries a shot, not able to convert. Both fighting for head position. Again, Manny this time is able to get in on the shot. He's in deep, trying to come in through the back door. He elevates, keeping that leg. He's trying to get him kind of dumped off. Again, he comes up. Good spinning. He's a little bit of trouble right there as kind of got caught in a funk. And because of potentially dangerous, officials going to stop it. So they are still neutral. Minute 4. Unless I missed some points, maybe I'm up in the night. I didn't catch the scores, but the scoreboard shows 8-0. Official looks to the table. He's telling them, I think there needs to be a correction. And it is 0-0 as Manny does get the takedown, and the first points of the period go on 3-0. He goes to try to double back off. They're nearing the edge. Manny still in position. Forward pressure. Trying to get that head into that armpit. As now he'll kind of reset, trying to break that arm right in that leg. 15 seconds to go here in the first period. Manny just needs to hold on 7 seconds as he's kind of getting out of position, but he should be able to hold on for this time. And he is able to. Okay, Canyon View's choice. He looks to the coach, and he wants to choose bottom. Okay, as they start, 3-0 still the score. Lopez on top, trying to keep him down. Canyon View coming to his feet. Manny trying to do a mat return, kind of loses his grip, loses his step. A little bit of trouble. He's going to give up on that in order to prevent himself from getting caught on his back. So it's 3-2 with that reversal for Canyon View as he looks to tilt. Manny trying to flatten out. He's got to get that right arm back. He gets it, both arms free, half Nilton applied, wrist tried for. They're coming to feet. Manny's trying to fight hands. Delta coaches saw locked hands, felt the official might have been out of position for that moment and missed it. As again, Manny's right arm is caught up by Canyon View. Keeping his head up, but not able to get that arm free. Now he has both arms free. Legs are kind of caught underneath as he tries to push back, build a base. Again, Canyon View goes and collects that right arm, gathers it 2-on-1, trying to bring it back. Head down to the back of his head. As he goes to throw in a half Nilton, Manny reaches up trying to pull it off. He's able to do it. Gut wrench on the left-hand side, brings him back to his right shoulder. And Canyon View likes to go to that right arm as he's either trying to bar it up or try to get a quick tilt if he can. Manny's not allowing him to do it. But again, that right arm gets caught up by Canyon View. 24 seconds to go. Bar applied. Manny puts the right hip down, trying to block it. A lot of pressure being applied. Manny's got short time, 15 seconds. If he can be stubborn and not go, he should still continue to lead going into the third period, as now there's essentially a double arm bar in there. Canyon View's got 5 seconds, double arm bar, but he hasn't been able to turn Manny. So Manny not being able to get out that period. We'll see what his choice is. He looks to the coach as he points down, but the coaches say, no, let's do neutral here. Again, he points back down to the mat. He wants to go down. Finally, coaches prevail, and Manny's going to start on his feet. As we enter this third period, score is 3-2 in favor of Manny Lopez as Canyon View quick to get a shot. He elevates, very similar to what we saw earlier, right about the same exact part of the mat. Manny looks to counter, grabs a leg of his own. Needs to keep that leg, but that might be a takedown, and it is. So that's going to change the score 5-3. Manny again on bottom as Canyon View goes again on to work on that right arm. Looks to tilt him. Manny fighting, going back and forth, and able to get enough movement that he doesn't get a turn again. Now he's in trouble on his back. Count being called, 4 count. Manny's loose, but not able to do enough to get away. Gets a little bit tighter, headlock being applied. Manny fighting it as best he can. And so Canyon View ends up getting the fall in the third period. Now up for Canyon View, Madden Mullen taking on for Delta Kumar. One more match. Okay, here they go, entering the very beginning of the match. They circle around. Kumar looking to tie up at the head. Kind of breaks it off a little bit. They're both tied up. Fireman carry by Canyon View. Kumar's on his back, in a lot of trouble, and that's the fall. So Kumar, he is first year wrestling. He's a sophomore, I believe, maybe a freshman. Appreciate him coming out, giving it a try. Okay, our next match features Carter Anderson. He's going to be taking on Canyon View's Richard Jones. Carter in quickly on a shot, breaks him down, 3-point takedown, looks towards the coaches. He's going to cut him, and we'll probably see him do that a couple of times as he again goes in for a shot. Elevates, straight down, trying to get some back points. Looks to the coaches, and he's going to do it probably one more time. But nope, he has a wrist and a bar, and he's just going to go roll and turn him. There's the near fall, and there's the fall. Okay, next up for Canyon View, Gavin Gardner. Could be Gardner. Trying to read some handwriting here. And he'll be taking on for Delta, a senior, Austin Stevenson. Again, welcome to Delta Wrestling. This is senior night. This is the last home duel. It's the last duel for Delta as they are hosting Canyon View. Again, this match for Canyon View is Gavin Gardner and Delta's Austin Stevenson. Just talked to his dad and uncle. They got back from California with the Bees about 4 o'clock just so that they could make sure to make it here to this match. Austin's been a really solid member of the team, starting as a freshman and done a really good job in the JV ranks. A lot of the tournaments he goes to, he's able to play highest on the podium. A lot of first place credits to him as Canyon View is able to get the 3-point takedown. Gardner's still trying to kind of push it off as he is taken down, trying to build a base right back up. Canyon View's trying to do a cheap tilt, 1 count, but not enough to get any points on the board. Okay, officials are going to stop him for blood. So we have 2 of our junior high wrestlers who are here that we're going to introduce. We've made this a little bit of a tradition this year with our home duels, that we are going to allow them to give some play-by-plays. And so some things that we're going to ask them to do is keep us reminded of how much time there is. They're going to tell us what the score is, and as best they can, some moves. So as we get this blood cleared up, we'll look to be able to pass it over to them and let them have a little bit of time here on the headsets, getting to represent the junior high program. Junior High State is tomorrow and Saturday at the Sevier Valley Center in Richfield. So Delta will be taking a large group of young men over there and having a great time at the tournament. They took second last year. The 3 years before that, they took first place, and they're looking to do it now. So we'll pass it over to Paxton and Alexander to give us the play-by-play.
Austin trying to get to his base. And he does his leg. Austin. Reversal.
No, don't reversal yet.
Oh, never mind. Not reversal. No change yet. Oh, what? Huh. 3 versus 2. 3-2.
The score is 3-2.
Canyon View.
Canyon View winning by 1.
And we are back to more blood time. It feels like once that gets started in a match, we'll see that about every break that we can. So thanks, Alexander and Paxton, for coming and giving a little bit of play-by-play with that. So Delta will be traveling to Sevier Valley Center. It should be a great tournament. Lots and lots of young men there. And we encourage anyone who's looking to get started in wrestling to give it a try, whether it be next year or whenever it may be. We're probably about a month away from the Little League season starting. So anyone who's got some younger kids who've never wrestled before, that's what this Little League is going to be. Dear neighbors, Stevenson quickly comes to his feet at the beginning of the second period. He tries to face him, needs to bring that leg down. He kind of goes up, Gardner tries to slam him back down. Stevenson trying to reach in on that leg, as now he's kind of got Gardner on his hip, but now Gardner's able to reset. Austin's legs kind of crisscrossed, half Nielsen being applied. Stevenson trying to pull that off, bring it down as they go out of bounds. And as they go out of bounds, Stevenson would have been in some trouble had they not. So a little bit saved by the edge of the mat. Minute 29 to go. Stevenson still trails by 1. Really good match between these two. This is Austin's senior night. And last time for him to wrestle in front of the hometown crowd. Canview got good pressure. A little high. Stevenson trying to build a base, going from right hip to left hip. Now he's able to get a little bit of a base, trying to control those hands before he comes up. As Canview tries to bring him back down to the side for a tilt, Stevenson able to clear the arms. Canview goes right back to those arms. He's got a wrist on a wrist. On the left-hand side, he's got that left leg laced in. He's trying to turn into a cradle, rips it back. Stevenson grabs the right leg of Canview, trying to pull it forward. Oh, right there. Canview was so high that if Stevenson could kind of buck him off, he could have grabbed that head, pulled him down. Stevenson trying to turn into him, not able to. So Stevenson, again, he's got 26 seconds trying to score. He's been close a couple of times, trying to control those hands, coming up. There was a slight touch of the hands right there. And Stevenson just not able to clear those legs, getting up. He's got 10 seconds here in the second period. 5 seconds, and it looks like that's how we're going to end the second period the way we started at score 3-2. It's going to be Canview's choice. Canview looks to his coach. He wants to be on bottom, and we're starting this period without any blood time. So we'll see what Stevenson can do on top. Looking to break him down, get some near fall. If not, probably after about a minute or so, coaches will probably tell him to cut him and score a different way. Stevenson usually has a really good tight waist that he's able to apply, reaches that right arm all the way across the belly, halfway up the spine sometimes as he gets it in there, drives that head into the armpit, trying to get some leverage, keeps that head down. I believe that's the second stall for Canview. It is, so that's going to be a 1 point for Stevenson. We are tied 3-3 as Stevenson looking to get that bar, and he loses it. Canview comes to his legs. Stevenson trying to keep him down. He's able to get that right arm, bring him. Barbed wire trying to bring him over. Official looks underneath. Pin! I never saw the count, but he was flat, so that's what he's looking for. What a great way to have senior night as Austin Stevenson wins by fall. Right before that, Carter Anderson was able to win by fall, and another one of our seniors coming up now is Dante Rodriguez, as we've reached the halfway point of our JV matches with Canview visiting Delta. Dante is going to be taking on Daxon Christensen. So we have 6 more JV matches. Looks like he's got those double underhooks in, looking to throw. Rodriguez trying to get some pushback to prevent that throw from happening. He can feel it coming. Right there, though, he's able to get the catch him, take him to his back. Settle in, got time, don't get out of bounds. Oh, he's tight, and he gets the fall. Did a great job preventing that Canview wrestler who had pretty good position from throwing him, great balance. And so there are 3 seniors right in a row. All 3 of them finished their high school experience wrestling in the Palladium with pins. Wrestling for Delta is Ty Draper. His opponent from Canview is Austin Young. This match highlighting two different body types. Canview is a little shorter and stockier. Delta, tall and lanky. We'll kind of see how they work to their strengths with these different bodies to be able to wrestle. Draper doing a good job trying to get around low. He throws in that right arm and the underhook, tries to get him now into a cradle. He needs to get his feet back as he had that leg. He's trying to tie it up into a single. Now he looks to just spin behind. Now he does, and he gets that three-point takedown. Quickly up to their feet. Canview working to fight hands, and potentially dangerous, as I'm guessing Draper probably had an arm caught up, and so as they came up, brought him back down. That's a 1-point technical violation, and so that will make the score 3-1 for Delta. Ty's had some different opportunities wrestling growing up from time to time. He's a sophomore and first year wrestling for Delta. He's one of the wrestlers that, as you watch throughout the season, I think he's just grown so much. You've seen a lot of development, strong physical kid, a lot of grit, and his moves are developing as he gets more and more mat time. He's got that tight waist, brings him back down. Canview's kind of keeping his head down, has a right wrist, trying to get that other hand with a tight waist. He's able to do so. Now trying to just kind of bring him over a little bit. Now trying to bring that right arm behind as Canview builds up a base. Draper knocks it out. Goes 2-on-1. Looking to kind of tilt him almost a little bit right there. Now he rolls over his both wrists, and both wrists come out hard, crossface by Draper. He's trying to turn it into a cradle as he brings the leg to the knee. He's got it. Kicking for Canview, trying to get it out. Draper needs to put that left knee into the hip, and as he does so, he gets the fall. So last 4 matches have all been falls in favor of Delta. So as we take a moment to look at the team score, Delta goes up 27-18 here in our JV matches. Now, wrestling for Delta, a sophomore, Chase Nielsen. He'll be taking on Canview's Bruce Cornelius. Chase, another wrestler, another sophomore. This, again, is his 3rd year wrestling. And he's just one that you never see him quit whenever he's on the mat. Really quite energetic as he starts in early, trying to find something that works, clubs the head a little bit, works for head position, work for arm position, and trying to find a way to get in and score. He's in with a shot. If he can just make sure he keeps his base, bring it in. He's trying to turn around, trying to turn, double off, and he can get the takedown. So as they're nearing the left-hand side of the mat, he leads 3-0 with 1:08 to go in the first period. Got a tight waist applied, trying to get him broke down. Not able to. Canview reaches back and grab Chase's leg. Now he's got to be a little careful. He's able to get that right arm back, stay behind the elbows. Brings him down for just a moment. Left arm trying to do a tight waist. Gives up on that as Canview's crawling forward. .28 seconds to go. Nielsen just trying to get him broke down. He's able to. Now he can maybe do some work. He uses his forehead to keep Canview wrestler's head down. He's trying to get a half in from side to side. Canview catching it as he goes. Yep, and I was worried he was maybe doing that as he was going side to side with those half Nielsens. Chase Nielsen makes it a full Nielsen. So 1-point technical violation, 3-1, 7 seconds to go here in the first period. And so no change as we head into the second period. It's going to be Delta's choice. He looks to the coaches. They say, let's go down. Okay. There's a technical violation as Canyon View locked hands. Nielsen able to get a reversal, so he sends his lead 6-1. As now he's maybe going to get a turn, kind of slips off a little bit. Trying to get that into a cradle, trying to bring that leg up, had it for almost a second, gives it up. Still trying to keep the head down for Canyon View, trying to bring one arm back. He's got that right arm brought back across the back, has the half on the other side, trying to slip in a bar. He has the bar. Now he's trying to get to the side and run. He should have it here. He looks like he's got pretty good position, pretty deep. Just go slow. And he looks like he's in, oh, can he hold in? Great job as Canyon tries to flip over. Just about had enough momentum. Nielsen's able to use his strength and bring him back and gets the fall. So that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins in a row for Delta. As we will start back into our lineup that we saw a little bit earlier, as Riggs Anderson, he's having his second match of the evening, taking on Caden Pauly of Canyon View. Canyon View's able to strike first. He's able to get the takedown in on the legs. He's low, trying to hook him so he can climb his way up, and he's able to do so. Anderson has a base, tries to baseball bat. Canyon View starting to get high as he stretches him out. Able to get those legs sunk in deep. Goes 2-on-1. Starts to get a little out of position as he now tries to tilt, but Riggs Anderson doing a great job. As Canyon View got a little loose, a little away from the hips, he's able to get the reversal. They're near the edge of the mat. Anderson trying to pull him a little bit back on. Trying to get that far hand to be able to have a little better control, bring him in. Now it's going to be Canyon View's turn to try and get a reversal. As they go out, officials going to look, and there will be no change. So 3-2 in favor of Canyon View, with just over 1 minute to go in the first period. Okay, 2-point reversal for Canyon View, 1-point escape for Delta. Canyon View right back in on a shot. Doesn't have it very deep, laces down. If he could do that, get those feet back as he's got Canyon View flattened out, trying to push that head down. Now he has an opportunity if he can just spin behind. He's close, he's got to get that arm with him, trying to grab an ankle as he goes. No change yet. And Canyon View's able to hit back over and get the 3-point takedown. That's going to make the score 8-3 in favor of Canyon View. As he's kind of high again, but he's going to get near fall. Anderson trying to fight, kind of gets kneed in the jaws. He's trying to get position. He's got 6 seconds, short time. And he's able to prevent a fall. Again, though, Riggs Anderson, the one we saw earlier today, he was pretty far behind early in the second period. He comes back, tied it up, and then got a fall. And he has an opportunity to do it now here in the third period as he is trailing 12-3. Double legs thrown in by Canyon View, trying to stretch out Anderson. Riggs fighting hard to prevent that from happening. Official yells in. He wants to see some movement. I think that's probably directed towards the Canyon View, as he's not really making an attempt to get a bar or half, at least up to that point. Legs are out. Base build up by Anderson. Anderson can feel like he's want to throw that leg back in. He does on the left-hand side. Stretches him out. Anderson's able to roll through. No change. Canview getting a little out of position. Getting a little high. If Anderson can get that leg, and he's not able to, he's in some trouble now. A lot of pressure there. Anderson fighting hard. A little bit of space on that left shoulder up in the air. Official right in there, seeing what's happening. As now he's able to turn out, maybe come on top. He does get around. He's got 45 seconds to make something happen. He's got him in a cradle. Can he get him into a fall? He loses the cradle. He's going to get 2-point near fall. Still a long ways to go, so he's got to find a way to get another pinning combination in order to make some magic happen for the second time this evening. 25 seconds to go. Base is built. He reaches up with the claw. Fat man roll trying to be thrown in by Canyon View. Something similar happened earlier in the match. This time, Anderson able to stop it. He's got to bring that right leg up. He's got 5 seconds, and it looks like it's going to roll through. It was going to be kind of a headlock, but as they roll through, he lets go of it. So it's going to be a 1-point escape for Canyon View. 2 seconds. The score is 17-7, and unlikely that anything will change with just 2 seconds to go. And that's the way it's going to end. Again, good second effort by Anderson. Almost had him when he had the cradle. And maybe I'm out of, man, there's so many points in here. I thought it was the third period, but it was only the second. So we do have more time as it is 7:17, third period. Anderson's gas tank was the key in the earlier match as, again, Canview doing a good job of getting some shots in. So the score is going to be 20-7. Scoreboard only lets it go up to 10 for the bout amount. And again, Anderson, he's finding ways when he's on back to get out on top. So there's going to be 2 near falls, so it's going to be 22-7. And if I can do math, I think that's, should be a tech fall. Maybe I can't. So there comes the fall. But probably should have been a tech fall as it was 15 points. Either way for JV, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Again, we have another wrestler coming up, Logan Townsend. This is his second match of the evening. He's taking on Axel Zimmer of Canyon View. So we have 2 more matches. After that, we'll see how quickly they want to get into senior night activities, as we will recognize the cheerleaders, the stat girls, and the wrestlers who all are seniors. Canview looking to get a takedown right into a cradle. He's able to get the takedown. Now trying to get some near fall. Official starting to count, trying to get in position, and there is the fall. Okay, final match of the evening for our JV. So this will feature Delta's Kumar as he's taking on Jordan Pavel of Canyon View. Okay, Canview in with a shot, double leg. He's able to get the takedown. As he looks to get control of the wrist, kind of driving forward with his head in the armpit. has one arm caught. Kumar trying to build a base. Half being applied. Kumar trying to lift his head up, but he's in some trouble right now, and there's going to be a fall. So that's going to be our last match for JV. And so with that, we look forward to honoring all of our seniors here. We'll step away for a minute and give a opportunity for our sponsors to be recognized. We appreciate all that they do in helping with Delta Wrestling. Well, I wasn't told that we were going to have a little in between match entertainment, so we're definitely going to bring that back. As I'm not sure which gym they are with, but some cute little girls in their cheer outfits that are going to be doing their performance.
let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder, don't you know? The hardest part is over, let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away, but these small hours still remain. Let it slide. Let your troubles fall behind you. Let it shine till you feel it all around you. And I don't mind if it's me you need to turn to. We'll get by. It's the heart that really matters in the end. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away.
But we're going to get started with our program tonight, as we would like to recognize our seniors as Delta plays host to Canyon View here at the Palladium. So as we look to recognize our senior cheerleaders, up first for Delta, Chloe Dutson. These are all Delta cheerleaders. She's the daughter of Mel and Jennifer Dutson. Taylor Winters, daughter of John and Aaron Winters. Briley Sorensen, daughter of Missy and Clint Sorensen. Johnny Covey, son of John and Christine Covey. Keely Stedman, daughter of Troy Stedman Jr. and Angelica Lyman. Swayze Nielsen, daughter of Mandy Nielsen and Dustin Nielsen. Michaela Wood, daughter of Kaylin Hansen and Jeremy Wood. So big thank you to all of the senior cheerleaders and all of the cheerleaders. It makes a big difference, them going and cheering on the mat. And now the wrestling team would like to thank Kinley Warnick, 4-year stat girl for the wrestling program. That takes a lot of time to travel with the team and making sure that all the videos and stats are put in. So I'm kind of proud of her as well. So thank you to senior cheerleaders. Thank you to Kinley and the other stat girls in being a big supporter of Delta Wrestling. And in a few moments, we're going to recognize our senior wrestlers. You know, you start thinking about, for a lot of these young men, they started wrestling when they were just little guys. Some of them, maybe it's even been not just 12 years, 14 years, 15 years that they've been involved in wrestling. So our first senior that we are going to recognize, Ian Bryan, son of Jody and Jared Bryan. You know, with the Bryan family, they're synonymous with Delta Wrestling, always a huge contributor there, as they have a few more boys coming up in the program. We may even see younger brother Bo Bryan wrestling tonight, as Coach Kip Jensen comes out and gives a little thank you to those parents. Our next senior, Austin Stevenson, son of Candy and Brian Stevenson. Brian making the drive all the way from California this morning to make sure he didn't miss this. As Austin, one of our seniors who maybe didn't wrestle as much but has been a huge leader on the team, works hard every single day and, contributes a lot. See a lot of success there. As, again, Kip Jensen, he brings out some gifts for the parents and wrestlers to be able to have. Trey Bradshaw, son of Holly and Trent Bradshaw. Trey's been one of those kids for the last 4 years that you could just always count on. As now we have a little wrestling match, and it looks like, out of bounds. I don't know if any points are going to be awarded, but, I guess he knows he finally made it happen, was able to take down his dad, and super fun. He wouldn't wrestle his mom. She'd beat him. Carter Anderson, son of Kristen and Dallin Anderson. Again, we just look at all these seniors and the contributions that they've made to Delta Wrestling, the way that they set the examples for the younger wrestlers this year. As down looks at Thornton Cartner down there with the takedown, but he lets up. I've got a son who's 11 years old, and he looks up to all these high school wrestlers. He thinks they're just the coolest thing in the world, and wants to be out there on the mat at the Palladium wrestling someday. And our last senior, Dante Rodriguez, son of Katie and Oscar Rodriguez. So, senior night, a great time to recognize those seniors. And now, as we are getting ready to wrestle, we're going to take a moment and have the national anthem sung as we show our nation's colors. And we're going to have our senior wrestlers sing our national anthem. Pretty awesome having those seniors sing it. I've always been told that, Delta Wrestling lets you do hard things, and if that was me down there, that'd be a hard thing to do. But those young men love Delta High School, they love their country, and they love their team. As we are ready for Delta Wrestling, this is our final night here as we are hosting Canyon View here at the Palladium. On the call tonight, I'm Chad Warnick, and I'm joined here with Coach Willoughby.
Hey, Chad. Happy to be here.
Good. Hopefully we have some sound from you. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, we'll make it work either way, as they're going to get the wrestlers all lined up, and then we'll bring them out for their face-up. How about that? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No? Oh, there we go. If I turn up my mic and turn up your mic a little bit, maybe we can.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. Because I know Coach Willoughby's going to say some good stuff tonight, and I definitely want to hear it. And so out come the Delta Wrestlers. So Canyon View, I think as you kind of look at them, they're probably one of these teams that a lot of people overlook from time to time, but the last few years they've made some really big steps in wrestling and got some really tough kids that they brought here tonight.
You know, a large part of that is they wrestle a lot in the off season.
So we've got the wrestlers and we've got the cheerleaders, and we just need to get Canyon View's wrestlers. I don't see them.
Yeah, taking their time. Can you hear me now, Chad?
I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, one reason with Canyon View they've made leaps and bounds is they get a lot of, they do a lot of off-season wrestling. They've had a bunch of kids buy into that, and you know, that really makes a big difference. They had, I believe, 2 kids, and I could be wrong, place at that Reno tournament. And that's a big deal. That's a really big tournament, you know. They placed top 6 at that. They're All-American.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and do our lineup. We'll talk a little bit more about them. First up at 106 pounds from Delta, Trayton Manis, and he's taking on Tegan Griffiths of Canyon View.
Okay, now, yeah, Trayton, wrestling great. .113 from Delta, Ranger Losian from Canyon View, Jackson Bowler. Should be a tough match there.
Yeah, fun to see Ranger make it back.
Yes.
At 120 pounds for Delta, Nash Jensen. And his opponent from Canyon View, Cooper Knoll.
Glad to see Nash down to 120. I knew that was a really tough challenge for him, but he should make some waves there. 126 pounds, we got Uriah Anderson from Delta, and from Canyon View we have Braden Spencer.
Yeah, as we kind of look at the lineup, it kind of feels like we've got people lined up where we want them. We've got people starting to get a little bit more healthy. For 132 pounds for Delta, Harvey Walgren. From Canyon View, he's taking on Gage Nielsen.
Yeah, I agree. We're nearing the end of the season, and you know, we're getting some kids moved down to weights. And for 138 pounds, we have Kyler Jenkins, and from Canyon View, we have Abraham Mraz.
At 144 pounds for Delta, Trey Bradshaw, the senior, taking on from Canyon View, Cole Cavallari. And I don't know a lot, but I think that's probably going to be a good match.
It looks like they changed this, so that looks like it's actually Ian Bryan.
Oh, they did.
Out there for 144. And they're going to have Trey Bradshaw at 150. So at 144, again, we're going to have Ian Bryan versus Cole Cavallari. And at 150, we're actually going to have Trey Bradshaw wrestling Lamoni Madakalalongo.
Very good. That's why I gave you we go odds and evens. I gave you the name on that one. At 157 pounds for Delta, Bo Bryan. He's taking on Callan Cavallari. Am I saying their last name right?
I think so, yeah. 165. Oh, looks like this needs to be updated a little bit, our sheet, but 165. Easton Stefanoff versus Alex Crawley.
At 175 pounds, Colton Anderson. He'll be wrestling Josiah Barker.
I know there's a little bit of sickness going around. I wonder if they move some kids around.
Which you don't want, but if we're going to get it, let's get it in and get it all out.
You're right. Yeah, 190 pounds. We're going to have Wyatt Harris. Wyatt Harris. He'll be wrestling Bridger Bader.
Okay, Corbin Curtis making his return after an injury. He'll be wrestling Carter Killian.
Tonight at heavyweight, we're going to have Cole Bailey, and from Canyon View, Tate Killian.
Yeah, it looks like there was some changes to the lineup from what we were given at the beginning of the day, but luckily we'll know the changes for Delta. I don't know if we'll get the changes to Canyon View if they have any of them.
Yeah, I didn't notice if they had any changes. From what I could tell, looking out there, that's who it was.
You know, a lot of the 3A kids I recognize, but for whatever reason, I have a hard time keeping up with the Canyon View kids and knowing exactly who they are. Not a lot of their records. We did do a little bit of research on some of them, as they last year qualified 21 wrestlers for the state tournament, but only 6 of them are returning for this year's season. And we'll see, you know, they've probably got some people that were in the wings waiting that are going to make their own opportunity to qualify this year. Delta, they qualified 18 last year, and they're returning 7 of their state placers.
Yeah, and that's, you know, pretty common, but a lot of those returners for Canyon View, they're studs, and those will definitely be the standout matches tonight. We're going to start at 106 tonight. Trayton Manus, Tegan Griffiths, you know, Trayton, another one of those kids, making their way down to a lower weight class. He looks big out there.
Yeah, good wrestler. I noticed last week that Kel pronounced it Manus. So maybe I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
I wonder if he's joking with
He
himself.
was.
That's funny, yeah.
Because I think everywhere he goes, that's what they always do. No change yet, as Manus with a shot, trying to pull his head out.
Pull the head out, cut the body with the right arm.
See how long the official goes. Not very long before he calls stalemate.
You know, I tell my wrestlers all the time, that's one thing that's tough is, and that, you know, good wrestlers figure it out, is we can't control the ref, but we can control the match. And so we have to be okay with whatever the ref says. However, how we wrestle can dictate how the ref refs. And you're just going to get refs that will call stalemates really fast, call stalling really fast, and other ones that won't. And so, you know, but those are things that we just can't control, but it's a great analogy to life. There's just a lot of things you can't control. Trayton Manus getting the takedown.
And it feels like there's been some emphasis the last couple of years amongst officials to try and have them be more action-based. And so if you're not really seeing a lot of progression happening, then go ahead and call the stalemate and let them reset. As they're getting stalling right there on Trey Manus. As they came to their feet, he was able to do a mat return. So quick on the stalls, quick on the stalls.
Yeah, and as I've seen this year especially, they really are calling that stalls. But one thing that's been nice is most all the refs have been consistent. They're consistently calling those stalls pretty quick. And one way that we get dinged a lot, and other teams as well, is these stand-ups, and we're not quick to return. We get called stalling pretty quick, and sometimes, you know, depending on the match, it might even be worth it to cut, you know, give them one, not even get any stall calls. But, you know, that's just one of those.
Because the first stall call is a warning, and then the second one's a point.
Yep. And so, you know, one stall call is not that big of a deal, but the problem is at the very first round of the match, you never know what's going to happen at the last rounds of the match. We're going to get 2 reversal right at the end of the match, and tough. I don't know.
Yeah, Tegan Griffiths, who he is wrestling. Last year at the state tournament, he placed 6th. He wrestled Kyler last year at the, well, I don't remember, at state they wrestled, and Kyler Jenkins went 10-9 decision. So this kid is a tough kid.
He is a tough kid, yeah. And, you know, I think he's probably, honestly, only a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, and to place a state, and yes, even though it's 106, placing a state, coming back, he definitely is a tough match. You know, Trey's going to have to pick it up a little bit. You know, he already rode on top for a little bit and gave up a escape at the very end of the first round, so we'll see what happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if coach tells him to cut him and we go on our feet, but he's got an arm bar, not broke down, a little tougher to turn here. He's trying.
And this feels like a match that we easily could see at the state tournament.
Yes.
At some point.
Oh, 100%. Yep. A lot of these. We very easily could see the state tournament. You know, I could see.
Are we in the same division as Canview this year?
Great question. Give me a second. I'll look it up.
So a minute 10 to go in the second period. Trey leads 3-2. Again, he has that arm bar trying to get him broke down, but Canview keep creating a base, keeps trying to come to his feet. No, it looks like Canview's going to be in with Juab, so not a divisional team that we'll see.
Yep, so that'll be the different division. So that's a tough division over there. You got Juab, Carbon, and Canyon View. You know, Richfeld, Manti, each having their own studs as well. That'll be a very interesting division to see how that plays out. Carbon and Canyon View, I said all season, they're dark horses. They're going to make some waves at state for sure. You know, Carbon especially, you know, the coach over they have a great program. Manus going for a cradle.
Oh!
I wasn't
Right at
keeping
the
track of the time. I thought we had more, but so we're going to have 0 points there. We got a lead of 3-2.
And there should be a stall, and there is right there, as a rule that came out a few years ago, tying the shoelace is a stall call. Most wrestlers have some type of Velcro or something to hold that shoelace in place, and so that's something that can come into play a little bit later. As Menace reaches behind, trying to catch that head.
Yep, so we've got each wrestler with the stall call. You know, for Manus and for coaches to feel better, he really needs to score points here. I'd feel not so good getting rode out, but he's trying pretty hard. He's moving pretty good.
Right there feels like where he could maybe start to spin out. Kind of getting a little better position, as it feels like Canview's getting a little high, a little to the side.
Yeah, he has that outside leg put in, a non-typical leg ride.
Trying to
looking for a spladle
cradle.
here.
Oh, spladle right there, yeah.
Looking for a spladle, which, you know, either that or this move called a Merkle he could do from there. But if we can get that leg out, which it is out, he should move here now.
Is he
He's cradled up
cradled
a little
up?
bit. Yeah, he needs to work those hands.
55 seconds to go. He leads 3-2. Both wrestlers having a stall call as he's trying to pull that right leg in close to him. He's got to break that cradle. He's able to break it. Now he might be able to pull his head out, might get the reversal.
He needs to grab that hand and post it, and then he can pop his head out.
This is where you don't want the official calling it too quickly.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
there was some movement. You could see it was going to develop. And with that, he makes himself slightly more comfortable. 5-2 as he inside the legs, hook the head, trying to drive him towards his back to get some near fall.
If he can stay between those legs, that gives him a better shot to get those near fall points. And it would be nice to get up. It wouldn't be enough for a major, but, you know, always want to practice getting points. Coach preaches score, score, score. So, well, that's going to be the end of the match. Manus with a 5-2 win.
You know, at the end of every single one of those rounds, something either happened or just about happened.
Yes,
between
yes, that's a good match, and I can definitely see them happening again at state, and I guarantee it'll be a lot closer unless Trey really picks it up. But a good win, a good win for Trey. Really, that was awesome. He's probably a little winded from sucking a little bit of weight, and because last week he wrestled 113 against Millard. Still had to make descent plan, but hadn't quite reached 106 yet.
So Trey, of course, we're looking to see him hopefully to try and get, first place at our divisionals. I think Campview has got a little bit harder road. Well, actually, I guess both of them have hard road. Though there's a lot of the 106ers are over at that Division 8 side.
Yeah, a lot of them
You've got Carbon, you've got the Jack Coleman over there, who's been having a great season. So.
Oh, definitely. If I had to guess, I'd say Jack Coleman and Greenhall in the finals on that other division. So we now have Ranger Losi versus Jackson Bowler. Now, this kid's tough. This is a very tough kid, Jackson Bowler. Nash Jensen has a long history of wrestling this kid in the junior high, Little League days. This kid was wrestled a long time. Ranger Losi coming off of a hand injury. I see him all the time coming into the wrestling room. The junior high kids were just getting ready to be finished, and he's coming in and really getting warmed up, and he loves it. That Ranger, he works hard. I see big things for him in the future. It was unfortunate he got injured and had to miss out on a few matches. So
yeah, right at the beginning of the season. In fact, he wrestled on it. I don't know how many matches with it.
It was a few.
Injured.
Yeah.
But knew long term that the best thing to do is to get it healed up, because that's going to give him better opportunity in the postseason. As we are now, you getting that takedown. 42 seconds to go in the first period.
Yeah, a little slip by there. Couldn't really keep our feet. Ranger with a switch attempt.
Do you know what grade this Bowler kid is?
I want to say he's a sophomore. I think he's the same age as Nash Jensen.
Yeah, it looks on here they've got him listed as a freshman.
Freshman, there you go.
And as of a week ago, his record was 14-1.
Yeah.
So pretty solid.
This kid is solid for sure. Yeah, my mistake. I really thought he was a sophomore, but no.
Yeah, well, actually, looking right here, he took first last year in the state tournament, and he was an all-star participant a couple weeks ago, last week.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that. Looking for a pin now against Losi. Got a armbar half. That's a dangerous one to be in. Ooh, timeout. Good. Get that 4 near fall. Score 7-0. Saved by the bell. You get in that one. That's extremely tough to get out.
Okay, he's going to choose top.
It's interesting. I'm actually seeing a lot of kids choose top recently, and kind of gone are the days of we always choose bottom because we're going to score points from there. A lot of wrestling is now kind of like a chess match. It's, what is my strategy? How can I score the most points here safely? He doesn't want to take the chance of going down or even neutral. And as we can see from the first round, he's really good on top. So I think, well, maybe I'm just going to hopefully getting a fast pin and save myself for divisionals. But, don't count Ranger out, man. He's been working really hard. Even though he's missed a lot of matches, he's a really tough kid.
Yeah, he's one that we highlighted early in the year that gets called Root Beer, kind of was his nickname when he first moved here. Coaches had a hard time remembering his name, so it's turned into Root Beer.
Looking for the fall here.
Fighting hard.
This
almost
time a
made it out.
Armbar wrist. Got it. Got that fall. Yeah, that's a tough kid.
Yeah.
And a freshman too. That's impressive.
And that's a tough kid to come back to an injury from.
Yeah,
that's your first match.
But one thing about him, he has a good attitude.
Oh yeah.
And he'll bounce back. He will. Don't count him out. Now we have Nash Jensen, who finally made his way down to 120. He's going to be facing Cooper Noel.
Yeah, Noel last year, he qualified for the state tournament, not a state placer. Nash made it to the finals, loss by 1 point off. And we were talking about Saul earlier. That was eventually through stalling was 1 point in favor of the other kid. So, 1 point stall You don't think maybe
I mean,
that's
it
going
was
to
even
determine the match?
1-0, wasn't it?
It was
I
1-0.
think it was
1-0.
1-0. And I
Yeah.
remember watching from the side there thinking, giving me flashbacks of me wrestling and getting stalls on me all the time. Dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I told Nash, I said, if anybody can understand how you're feeling right now after that match, it's me. So I told him, don't ever take the match for granted, If anything, cause the stall on the other team. But, this is a kid that puts his heart and soul into it, works hard. Coach Jensen's son, of course, and, I'm excited he's at 120 now. He looks really big out there, and like I said, I think he'll make some waves. Noel in a single leg.
Jensen doing a good job countering it as he's trying to get the laces down, push that leg away, pressure on the arms, trying to get behind now. He may get behind, and he does.
Now, one discrepancy between refs a lot of times is when they would call a takedown in that situation. That ref, to me, seemed to call it a little prematurely. I would feel like usually what we tell our kids is get your hands behind their elbows, hand around their way, cover their hips, that's your takedown. It depends on the match. It depends on the ref, though. Some refs will call it another way, and that's another thing. You cannot, gonna get a stall call.
And I don't understand
That's,
that one because it feels like he was trying to lock up a cradle from that position.
Yeah, I agree. I am quite confused about that stall call. Seems that.
Yeah. When you're wrestling a tough kid who's not wanting to get in the cradle and you're trying to get in the cradle.
Yeah, it seemed like there was equal action on both sides. Maybe he thought, he's just pushing him out. Nash will cut him.
And that might have been an intentional cut right there. Once it came to the feed and didn't feel like he had the time, there's out one stall call. So
well, like I talked about in that Drayton match, exactly. He already got that stall call. We know that the ref, we've seen that he calls those pretty quick. And so, honestly, if the kid is just coming straight up, it is smart to just get him away. We already got a takedown, and so we know we can take him down again. Just kind of playing those games.
As we start the second period, Canview, he's on bottom. Nash, again, they come to his feet. He's trying to get him back down. Has a hard time getting control of that left hand.
He's
got about 3, 2, 1, and coach just says cut, but not. You're right there. He was too late.
How long have you been doing this, Chad? That was you can foresee things. But, I mean, we're just following the pattern of the ref, and that's unfortunate because that brings the score tied 3-3.
So what happens on the next stall call?
Next stall calls another 1. And then next call calls a 2. And then the next one, since that's the 4th technical violation, that would be a disqualification. Calling a stalemate, again, pretty quick, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, kind of felt like he was nearly into position, just trying to finalize some things. But, I mean, as long as he's consistent, I mean, if you're fast, be fast on everyone. So 3-3, a minute to go in the second period.
Call that stall call. That first one was very unfortunate. Yes, the stand-up stall call, I would have called that for sure. That other one, though, that hurt us. Nash really has to pick it up, score some points.
But, this might be the the best match for him is to get a little bit of stall awareness, to realize that how am I going to wrestle? But I don't. But that first one, still, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know as a coach what I would have said to do any different in that situation, because he was either trying to get behind, trying to get the cradle, and neither of them were developing.
No, there was nothing I would have changed in that situation. It's just like I said. Unfortunately, sometimes the refs make calls that we can't change, and the refs have what's called
discretion.
Yeah, basically discretion, and I got called for coach's misconduct one time for going against a ref's discretion, and apparently that's in the rule books. Once they say that's their call, you can't fight it anymore.
Like when you come over to the table?
100%, yep. And if they say, do you go against this? This is my call. And if you say yes, they can definitely call a coach's misconduct. And so, again, it's just part of the play part of wrestling, that strategy. And I know a lot of coaches that are very, very good at knowing when to talk to the refs, knowing what to say. Ooh, 3 takedown by Noel. Excellent takedown. Nash, putting a good effort to donkey kick out of that, but Noel just stayed the course and covered quick. That was textbook. That was nice. Nash has 3 points to make up now.
Yeah, he's got 6 seconds to try and do it here in the second period.
If he stands up here.
Oh, keep going, keep going. Like to have seen a few more seconds to see if anything could have developed from that.
A good strategy here, again, is, instead of a switch, if we come to that stand-up and we just fight on our feet, we already know that the ref is inclined to call stalls really quickly on that stand-up. So that's a good strategy to think about is, okay, let's try stand-ups, because if we can get stall calls, the coach, at least if they're smart, which I know these coaches are, they're going to call for cuts. They're going to cut us because they don't want those stall calls. They'd rather cut than get stall calls. And so something to think about, especially with a ref like this. Delta's choice. Nash is going to go down. Really smart move. It's tough to say, that takedown Nash got did come off of it was a defensive takedown.
Comes quickly to his feet. One,
now let's see.
2, and he just cuts. Yeah, he knows what he wants to do.
Yep, 100%. That's the strategy right there. You come to that stand up, they're just going to let you go. Nash needs to move his feet a little quicker. He's leaving that lead leg there pretty heavy. One thing my dad told me all the time was, if you got a tough kid at a weight, like we had Jackson Bowler at 113, everybody around Jackson Bowler is going to be tough. Why? Because they're wrestling them in the room. So you can't count this kid out just because he doesn't place a state, right? I mean, we're seeing it right here. He is giving Nash a run for his money. Into that single leg again. Needs to cut the body, cover, get that 3. Nash putting up a
being tough.
Good fight here. They stay there too long and get called stalemate, which is the call. Yeah.
Oh.
That is the call. I would have called that. People are not happy, which is understandable. But
good, because he's quicker than a lot of officials with that stalemate. And now, had it been the other way, I think some of the people would have been okay with that quick stall call.
That's exactly
or being
right.
stalemate.
That is exactly right.
So a takedown wins it if he's able to take him down and hold him. 45 seconds to go. He trails by 2. Not sure quite what he's waiting for. Both wrestlers I think actually Canyon View has control of both of Nash's hands. They break him. He's got 25 seconds. He's got to start to go. Because even if he gets a shot, it might take a moment to develop. He's got to get in. 15 seconds. Here he goes. Stall called by Canyon View. That's the first one. But that's not going to help much as he's got 10 seconds. Nash has got to lock that up and get him exposed. Got to get something. There it is. 3-point takedown. Officials awards it. We have both of the Canyon View coaches very upset by that. And that's going to be a hard one for them to overturn right there as he tells the wrestler, stay there in the center, and they come and plead their case to the official.
Nash was very smart right there. He knew exactly what he needed to do to get that takedown. Now, again, it's up to the ref's discretion. And the cool thing is coaches do have the right to go make their case. But once that ref makes that final call.
Oh, is he trying to show him on a phone? What's he doing on the phone?
He's saying, please look at this video.
Which,
and again, the refs
I think some officials could automatically, I see it in like college and professional sports. You pull out an electronic device, there's an automatic penalty associated with that because that's not a legal way to demonstrate
100%,
your case.
And that actually is happening a lot nowadays. So they're calling the match. Honestly, great match. Nash, hopefully he learns from that because, that's – Nash is better than that, and hopefully he can take that and learn from that. Now that Noel kid, he's going to go into the divisionals on fire. He wrestled Nash like crazy. He's going to
surprise some people.
Definitely.
So now wrestling at 126 pounds, Uriah Anderson, and he's taking on from Canyon View, Braden Spencer. Braden Spencer did qualify for the state tournament last year, and Uriah, I think, did he place 4th?
Yes, Uriah Anderson placed 4th at state last year. Spencer with a quick takedown.
You know, looking at these Canview wrestlers, a lot of them are, I'd say, you know, not like bulky with muscle, but they're lean, they're strong, they're sinewy. They kind of have a certain build to them.
Yes, I agree. That's Uriah with the quick reversal. Spencer can't hold him down right there. I agree. Anytime we wrestle other teams, that's one of the first things I think is, wow, those kids, where'd they get those kids from? You know, but I love that about our team. You know, I love that our team,
Okay.
calling an unsportsman, coach's misconduct. Coach's misconduct against Canview, and I am not sure what was going on. Coach Lowry, I'm not sure what was said. It looked like it was something that he said.
Yeah,
but-
and I didn't see anything on the mat that I thought was controversial up to that point.
I agree.
They did take away a team point.
They did. They did. They took away a team point there. So now we're looking at a 6-5 for Delta with team score. And honestly, that could hurt Canyon View. That could come back and bite them. One thing about Uriah Anderson is he will tilt you. He is a tilting machine. I think he has, I wish I pulled it up. I should actually. I have some stats here. I'm going to pull up how many techs he has this year.
With 40 seconds to go, he leads 5-3, and he keeps trying to keep control of the legs. Good forward pressure, trying to get into the position that he'd like. Kind of tries to scoop that arm on the right as he just stretches the body.
So I don't know how accurate this is, but on their stat keeping app, it says Uriah Anderson has 10 tech falls
Wow.
this year, which our next closest is 3. So that is a lot. You know, if you talk about
And how many matches has he probably had on the season? Has he had 30?
maybe 30,
Yeah,
that's one
so-
thing crazy about the season. It's gone so fast, and with it being a little shorter, our wrestlers really haven't had a lot of matches this year that like they've had in the past. Delta's choice, we're deferring, and Spencer is choosing neutral, which is smart.
So, yeah, if you look at the calendar for the postseason, we're a week earlier than we've done for a long time. Looks like they've kind of moved some of the classifications around. You usually think of 1A, 2A being the week before on everything. This year, 3A's earlier.
It's almost a week and a half earlier, right? It's like in the middle of the week, I think. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday is when state is.
Yeah, a week from today, a week from tomorrow, we will be at divisionals.
Wow.
And as I understand it, it's going to be a one-day divisional tournament
Yeah,
for
I
the
just
boys.
barely learned that. One day on Saturday and. you
No,
know,
is it on Saturday or on Friday? Because I kind of told that it was the boys on Friday and the
maybe
girls
it is
on Saturday.
Friday. Uriah Anderson getting a slick takedown right there.
Yeah, he extends his lead 8-3. Has the legs tied up, trying to bring that left arm. Brings that left arm in, trying to reach under, I think, to get that far right arm. Doesn't have it. Now trying to bar up the left.
A couple other interesting stats. Our wrestler with the most falls, most pin falls, is Trayton Manus with 14. Total team points, Uriah Anderson with 64, which makes sense with the tech falls, followed by Trayton Manus.
And Uriah's getting some more near fall right now as he has about 3 minutes left in this match to add another one to his tech fall category. And he goes up 12-3, 54 seconds to go.
Yeah, he is amazing on top, that is for sure. Really good hips. And a sophomore, you know, Nash Jensen, Trayton Manus, Uriah Anderson, Harvey Walgren, all sophomores.
You know, and Uriah last year having a lot of hand issues, and it feels like this year he's healthy.
Yes.
And it makes such a difference. I mean, you start thinking about anything on your body to hurt, a hand in wrestling, that's a tough one to try to battle through.
Well, it goes right to your head, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because not only are you battling the physical side of it, but it affects your mentality as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those they could fight through, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
Because if you're using your hand, it's hurting you. If they're grabbing your hand, it's hurting you. Or some maybe the other body parts, you know, it's only going to hurt you if they tweak on it. 7 seconds to go. Still 12-3. And no, don't. You look to the coaches. I don't think he's aware of the time. He showed neutral.
You got 7 seconds left.
Yeah,
He
ride that
needs
one
to,
out. Oh, don't. he going to get a stall? He does
Yeah,
get a
he is
stall
getting a
for
stall for
tying his shoe.
It's right out for 7 seconds. Be interesting to see what they choose on the other side. If I had to guess, I'd say neutral.
He's going to
He's
do
gonna go
alternate
down.
start. Oh, nope. I thought the way the official kind of told him to go down, his hands got a little close. But no. Canview chooses bottom. Good job keeping him on the mat. Canview hasn't really got much of a base built anytime he's been on bottom.
No, and that's why it surprised me he went down, but, you never know.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
he started the
coaches-
match with that really slick takedown.
Yes. So I thought, well, maybe he'll go neutral, but, you think about coaching, in a match like this, okay, coach is probably realizing, well, maybe we're not going to win this match, so let's work on bottom, right? I want to see if you can get away on bottom,
Yeah.
right? I know that you can take him down. Let's see if you work on bottom. This match right now doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah, it maybe does for state a little bit, but not really.
Not really because it's divisionals. Mhm.
So really, this match is just practice, right? It's just practice.
So
16-3, Uriah needs one more little turn, even just a little 2 count. We'll get that tech fall.
no, I don't think they've updated the team score. Team score should be 12-5.
Yes, it should. Or it should be not 12, right? It should be 9-5. Nash Jensen got the win.
Oh, 9-5. Yeah,
It
yeah.
should be 9-5, yeah, and they just haven't updated that. Uriah working for a crossbody Turk. Gonna get that tech fall. He just lets him back up, and that's it. Good tech fall by Uriah. We expect big things out of him for sure at the divisional tournament. Up now, we're going to have Harvey Walgren. He's going to be wrestling Gage Nilsson. Gage is a tough kid. I'm going to look it up, but I want to say that Gage Nilsson is one of those kids that placed at Reno. But I definitely could be wrong, so I'm going to look it up.
I'm guessing one would have been Alex Crawley.
Yep, Alex Crawley definitely was.
And then would the other one maybe have been Tate Killian, or would have been someone else?
It definitely could have been Tate Killian. Those Killian boys right there, those guys are extremely tough. All right.
Canview in with kind of a half-hearted shot. Harvey trying to counter. Trying to get that left hand on his right foot, get spun around, and he's close. Just get past that right arm, get behind. Canview's able to face him.
Harvey stepped over, about had it, but Gage Nilsson was slick there. Moved his body a little bit. We're going to call stalemate.
Harvey in deep on that leg, trying to get around. Kind of loses it a little bit, still holding on, but starting to get a bit out of position. So see how quickly he'll call a stalemate here.
Okay, so I don't think it was Gage Nielsen. I do remember seeing him win some matches.
And there's the stalemate.
17 seconds left in the first round. Now, Harvey is an extremely defensive wrestler.
Yeah, he likes to let things kind of develop.
You know, he really needs to be a little bit more active. Coming from a coaching standpoint, other wrestlers are catching on to that and realizing if they just shoot, he's going to get called for stalling. Which, again, going back to Nash, you know, that can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Can be the difference between a state title.
Yeah.
Not a state
Yeah.
title. So.
Delta going down. Gage with half on top, half in a wrist. Harvey fighting off strong, giving some back pressure. Just get his elbow down, grab that hand, peel it off, basic stuff.
Has the base, but still has the half Nielsen on.
Yeah, watch the match right here. I would dare say we're about to get called for a stall.
More than that, let's just get out of that position so we're not creating opportunity for any near fall. .45 seconds to go in the second period. It's still scoreless. That half Nielsen's been on pretty much for the entire second period.
And there's the stall call. You know, as soon as Harvey was laying on his belly there for a little bit, they called it. You know, he keeps his base, but, you know, I would think, oh, get that half off. You know, that's step one. Then we can move around.
Switches to the other side with the half.
Smart move. He can get his body to the other side. He might be able to turn him here. Harvey very tough, but again, not a lot of movement. I can see the ref calling another stall right here.
Let's get one. 7 seconds.
It's a deep half. Ooh, time. Saved by the bell.
He's kind of hurt. Looks like he's slow to move, slow to get up, and maybe he's just, you know, and who knows? You know, we've talked earlier before, there's kind of the flu that's been going around, and I don't know who's on the team that has it. And when you have that, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you want it, it just drains so much of your energy.
As much as you try, the energy is not there. Harvey with an explosive stand-up there. That's some great movement we haven't seen in Harvey. Again, with that half, he just sinks that right in. Gage Nielsen with some long arms, you know, had about an opposite side half, was able to sneak it in. Now he's on the right side, and now we're just in that exact same position as we were second period.
There's the potentially dangerous.
Yep, as soon as Harvey's elbow comes up above his head, they have to call that potentially dangerous. Back in the day, kids would half, and if you would come up and grab their hand to defend, kids would grab your hand and pull it over the top of your head. Unfortunately, you can't really do that anymore. They'll call for a potentially dangerous. Harvey with some movement now.
But still that half thrown in.
Half thrown in. He should grab that belly.
Yeah, right there.
hand.
There we go. Pull that. Pull that.
Good movement. Sitting on that leg now. Smart.
Watch that
Watch
knee.
that knee. Yep, that's a potential, but good movement. Very good movement by Harvey. There we got 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the third. Still zeros. You know, he should seal off right away. Elbows tight. Grab that, see, there we go. Grab that belly hand, and man, that kid is so good at just throwing that half in. It's almost a breakdown more than anything. I mean, you don't ever really see that. He just throws that half in and is just riding him like that. And
yeah, Harvey trying to collect that left leg as he brings him up.
Smart, he's got to be careful.
Right here, if he would almost switch to that other leg, he could get into a Granby.
Swivel his body a little bit, yes. You know, coming back on that leg.
in
Harvey
deep on that leg. There we go.
got him on his hip. 37 seconds left. Looking for a reversal.
Just separate. Get some separation or get
The
behind.
ref could call stalling here if, yep, we got a stall call on green now because we can't get a stalemate. Oh, we can get a stalemate, I guess. So, but that's unfortunate because, you know, if Harvey kicked a little bit more, kept up motion moving a little bit, we could have avoided a stalemate. But we do got a stall call now, and so let's come to our feet. Like we talked about earlier, come to our feet. Yep.
There we go, there we
Very
go.
Nice. Okay, let's get another stall call. We're gonna.
You know what?
This
He's
is gonna be
okay
a
there.
stall
It can
call.
either be a stall or
This
an
is going
escape.
to be a stall call match. A stall call match.
He's
And
got
here comes
14
the-
more
here
seconds.
comes the
There it is.
stall. Yep. And they're going to call stalemate again. Yep.
7 seconds. And they're going to cut him.
which is what you got to do because now, haymaker, it's all or nothing.
Now Harvey he has a stall against him, so he's got to be careful that he just doesn't back up and get a
Yes.
call right off the thing.
He's got to be aggressive. Circle. He's got
Circle,
to
circle.
Circle, snap. Circle and snap. Snap him down and go behind.
Oh, no,
right
stall.
At the end.
He needed to circle a little bit more to
He
kind of take
does,
away that
so-
opportunity.
We're going over.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Because he got the escape. They must have awarded an escape.
So he had the 1 point stall, then he had a
Uh-huh.
1 point escape too. Oh, so that would have been the first points for the other kid. No, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that must have been it, right? They called it. They called an escape, right? Is that what it was? Okay. So they ended up calling an escape. So it looks like they ended up calling an escape. We missed that. So Chad and I both looked at each other like, "Oh, we're going into overtime."
That's what I thought
guess,
when they called.
man.
Or maybe a lot of
Yeah,
times that's
right
just
at
what
the
happens at the end of a
Yeah,
lot of those
that's-
matches.
That is true. That is true. Which, you know what? Because, well, okay, Chad. I'm a little foggy brained. They cut him, right? There's that 1 point.
Yeah, there's one. So
Yeah,
he's up.
And then
Yeah, the
so
one
it's a stall
stall,
call and then the cut.
Yeah.
So that's 2.
and
and
then
then the stall
one
call at the end.
for Canview for
Yep,
the stall.
For the stall, so 2-1.
Which is
Yep.
okay then. I mean, if you've got 1 point to give up in there, then go ahead
Yes.
and do it. I was just told that by my wife that Harvey was ranked 3rd in the state in 3A, and that kid was 4th.
There you go. Okay,
So, I mean, again, that's another – I mean, that could be a semifinals match at the state tournament so easily.
Oh, count on it, definitely. Count on it for sure. Got Kyler Jenkins right now, 138, wrestling Abraham Miraz. Kyler getting taken down with a minute left in the first round. He's going to cut him.
Yeah, again, this Miraz, I don't have much on him.
This is one of those weights that Delta's a little deep. We have Kyler Jenkins in here, and the rest of the season before we've had Carter Anderson. Carter Anderson's been fighting the flu. I know that for a fact, and lost the wrestle-off against Kyler, but don't count Kyler out. He is a state qualifier, and you can if you
State
saw
placer.
a state placer, state placer, and if you saw a picture of Kyler last year and a picture of Kyler this year.
Well, when they said that he lost to Carter in the wrestle-offs, I'm like, why are they wrestling together? Because you're so used to – was Kyler 113?
Kyler was 113, 106. Yeah, 113.
He didn't get down to 106, did he?
No. The 113, and now he's up to 138, and I think he got all the way up to 150 when he was lifting pretty heavy, but
Yeah, if you were to ask me which kid is on the team is spending the most time in the weight room, I think Kyler is probably the one that, from what I've heard and what I've seen, and also just the results of what you see in their physique, he's putting the time in there.
definitely, I agree with that 100%. Kyler about with the takedown at the very end of that first round.
This wrestler from Canyon View, he's showing a record, at least on track wrestling, of 11-1. So solid wrestler. Now, some of these matches that kids wrestle, for whatever reason, don't end up on track wrestling, even if the tournament was there. But either way, whatever is on there, that shows this is a solid kid.
Yeah, that is true. The coaches kind of have discretion as long as they're not 100% lying or making it better than what it is. But, however, we can see this kid, taking Kyler down pretty quick. 11-1 doesn't seem like that far off. Getting an escape right here. Kind of an easy escape, Come on, Kyler.
I know it was 2 years ago, Union High School. I don't know how they did it. But going into divisional, every one of their wrestlers had a record of 0-0.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and a lot of that. You know, once we get to
A little out of position.
you gotta.
Was in deep and just kind of got caught. Needs to be careful right here. He doesn't get pushed to his back.
You know, Mraz doing a great job getting his hips in, and Kyler, you know, not throwing his hips in as well. Gets sandwiched there, folded over, and Mraz gets that 3-point takedown. Working for that arm bar.
You know, Kyler, was it a couple weeks ago? He had a concussion, so he took a little time off, recuperating from that. Now he's back.
Yes. Yeah, so that definitely could play a part of it as well. Having to take a week or two off. Gonna get a reversal.
Well, I don't know what he
That should
wants
be a
there, yeah.
Reversal right there. Yep, we got that leg in. He's got to get behind those elbows. He should get under that arm.
Under that arm, power half or something.
Yep, at least get him off that leg. Get his hips back on top. Maybe sit there, wait for a stalemate.
Now he's holding on his own leg.
And, he's got, which is a smart call. Hold your own leg, at least hold there. Now we get a stalemate.
A little high, needs to be careful.
Okay, now we're in a position.
1 second.
And in the second round, we got a score of 7-3.
And Kyler's choice, and he's going to choose bottom.
Smart, you know, he gets that reversal and trust in his conditioning, you know, keep moving.
Or if he gets the 1-point escape and then turns it into takedown, then we're tied.
And we're tied up.
But he looks like he's doing that switch, but he didn't clear that left arm.
Yep. And it's funny, you watch and you think, well, I don't know what he's expecting. Comes back around, we're going to reset, come again.
It looks like
Good,
he
grabbing
might
that
try
belly
to,
hand. Let's see like a short sit. Yep. Now he's going to cut him. Smart on Canyon View, you know. Work them on their feet. Give up one, not two.
Both wrestlers kind of heavy on their feet, not moving a lot. Now they're doing a little better.
Oh, great attack by Mraz.
And Kyler's just not quite in position to try and grab that leg
Getting
to
that 3
counter
takedown
it.
right there.
So belly out
We
and
do
start
need to
again.
belly out, yep. So now we're getting a score of 10-4. Kyler's got a little bit of work to make up. We've got 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the third round. He's cutting him again. You know,
10 to 5.
You're curious about, is it a strategy? Is it dominance? You know, why cut there?
But
Why
Stalling.
cut? Stalling called on green, which I don't know if he meant red.
No, he's talking to the Canyonview wrestler. So he did call it on him.
Probably looking at a push out. I think that's probably what that was, which is interesting because, you know, off a shot, I've always thought that was weird. Very easy takedown for Mraz. A little go by. Gonna cut him again. Yeah, this is a dominance match. He's looking for they're looking for a major decision here.
Trying to get a point back for the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there, though,
Tyler
something could
getting that
happen.
3 and some near fall.
12 seconds.
Getting a
That
Merkle
shoulder's
there.
high up.
That is a Merkle, but we've got 3 and 4. So that's 7. Ooh, don't give up a reversal, though, because you're tied. And that's going to be the match.
Oh, man.
What a great effort by Kyler at the very end of that match, though. You know, seizing that moment, getting the hips down at the right time, grabbing those points, and just, you know, being aware of the match, the time, the score. It's all extremely hard, especially a match like that. You know, and with Kyler out there, you know, getting taken down, let up, his mind probably wasn't anywhere near what the score was, and that's very hard to keep track of.
When it's 13-13, how do you keep
How
up?
do you even know exactly? You know, he's thinking, oh man, that's the best I got. Okay, reversal, and all of a sudden time's up, right? You know, good on Kyler. That was a great effort at the end. That Mraz kid, wow, what a
Well,
stud.
and I think just kind of watching Kyler, knowing what's using in his gas tank, I don't think he was at 100%. He might have a little bit of that sickness because he's usually one that can just go and go, and he did. But there was just some energy that I didn't see as much in there. We better announce this one.
Ian Bryan out there at 144.
I thought for a minute he was going to take him right
And
to his back.
it says Cole Cavallari, and I'm actually curious if this actually is Cole Cavallari.
I wouldn't think it is, just kind of how the match is going.
Nothing against Ian Bryan at all, because he is a stud, one of our seniors, been wrestling really hard this year. But Cole Cavallari is a returning state placer, I believe. And we got the pin.
Well, he's a 2-time state placer, 3rd place as a sophomore, 3rd place as a junior, and now as a senior year. So I don't think he's out there unless they did some bumping up.
I do not believe that is him. That is fine. Ian Bryan, great win for him. It's awesome. Senior night, let's get strong going into the divisional tournament. This is Cavallari. And it's not. It's actually, that's Cavallari out there. So I can recognize him from coaching these last couple years in the high school. So this is Trey Bradshaw and Cole Cavallari at 150. And I was talking to Trey a little bit before. Trey Bradshaw, slick slide by. Get the takedown. We're going to let him up.
So looking at the 3A wrestling rankings, both of these are ranked 2nd. Trey at 144 pounds and Cole at 150 pounds. Interlocking the fingers, potentially dangerous called.
And I believe Trey will wrestle 144 at state.
I think so.
Making
this
some
was a
moves
matchup.
to do a matchup. Lamoni for Canyon View. Trey was telling me he's going to move up to 157 to avoid Martineau from Juab at 150. So, we'll kind of see what happens there. But, man, Trey, he has just been wrestling lights out this year. With this, being a senior, at least somewhat healthy.
Yeah, as healthy as he's been the last 2 years.
He won't tell you if he's hurting, but he probably does a little bit somewhere. But, nothing broken so far that we know. No sickness, right? I mean, I remember coaching him as a freshman all the way up through junior year. Just every year he was battling something, and this year finally can just let the horse run free, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a great placer. He's done really well, and just kind of been on that outside all the time. You keep thinking it's about going to happen, and we hope this year he does get it, because he's worked so hard and so good.
Oh, and so close to the show of finals, right? I mean, it just seems like every year there's been that one kid that stops him. Austin Paris or Martineau or somebody, right? Somebody right there that's usually pretty close. Trey Bradshaw getting the pin right there. Great match, and I'm almost wondering if that's even Cavallari.
I don't think it would have been, just the way that match kind of lined up.
And I'm wondering
if it was, then that's incredible.
Whether they're sick or saving them, whatever it is, right? But honestly, Trey would have put up the same match against Cavallari. He's had that kid's number for a while, and it's usually pretty close, but he usually ends up pinning him. And very proud of Trey, having coached him for 3 years and seen the things that he's gone through. He's a great young man, going to do some great things. 150 now, or sorry, 157. Is this Bo Bryan out there? So we got Bo Bryan, and he's wrestling that Lamoni.
What's Lamoni's last name?
Matakalongo.
If you say it enough time, you'll get all the syllables in there.
Exactly, and I've learned from reading Polynesian names to read every syllable, right? Matakalongo.
All right, I think you got it. As he does get the takedown to start the match.
This is a kid that Lamoni, he wrestles a lot, all year, and very tough, very strong. Bo Bryan, he actually is looking great this year too. Kind of not as sick as he was last year. Last year I feel like he was sick every weekend.
Get it.
Just about a takedown. Lamoni with that leg. Get behind those elbows, cover the hips. We could get that takedown. But he's got that leg still, and that's tough. Lamoni being very strong right there, extremely smart. Keeping all that leg. Bo should have. Yeah, now we're in a very bad position here.
Oh,
That's a
he's in
figure four to the
really
body.
bad.
Yep, so we got a takedown by Lamoni there.
So he
That
had the
was
figure four, and the ref could have seen that. And what's the rule on scissoring and figure four the bodies?
Very good. Yeah. So technically, you scissoring the body is when your legs are just crossed, straight, and like an angle. Figure four is when you're at like a 90-degree angle with your legs around the body. And the rule is you're not allowed to figure four the body. You can scissor the body. I'm assuming you didn't call it there because there was just action happening and it wasn't necessarily on purpose.
And not really even pressure applied, which,
Exactly.
I mean, I think you can kind of see like there. He's just kind of almost like just trying to catch himself rather than squeeze.
100%, yes. End of the first round, we got a score of 6-1 for Canyon View.
You know, and with those scissoring and figure fouring, those feel like those rules change every now and then.
Oh,
when I was going through, you couldn't scissor anything, but you could figure four the head if you were trying to have the person go out behind through the back door.
Yep.
And then they changed the rules.
And then now you can figure four the head with an arm, and now you can do this. And actually, I have a funny story about your son Campbell. He was wrestling, and I believe it was the divisional tournament. I'm going to kick myself for not remembering what tournament it was, but he was wrestling this kid, and he loved to throw the legs in, and he loved to scissor the kids, and I loved it. It was great. And, man, this ref stopped it, you know, gave the kid a point and said that's illegal. And I said that's absolutely not illegal. That was a scissor. And the refs came up and told me, no, scissoring is illegal. And I said, ref, not to be disrespectful, but please go read your handbook because that's not right. And he came up and apologized to me. He did. He said, I read the handbook and I apologize. I was 100% wrong. Figure fouring is illegal and scissoring is totally fine.
Which, you know, kudos to him to having enough humility to say, you know what, maybe I did have a mistake right there, and come and talk to you and say, hey, thank you for doing that, coach.
And it's sad how less you see that nowadays. But, yes, I gained a lot of respect for that ref after that happened.
You know, every once in a while as I'm doing some of like the editing and different things and I'm whatever, you know, I come across one of my son's videos. I already know how they're going to end up, but they still stress me out.
Oh,
I mean, this is stressing me out right now.
Brian.
Get that arm out.
Working on a hip flip over.
Oh, he could get out right there if he could just twist a little bit more.
Yep, and he's on his knees now, so he's in a really good position to get away. Grab that elbow, slide it over the head. You know, looks like we're going to get a 1 escape. So that's 3 near fall. Gave him a 3 and a 1 escape. So we got a score of 9-2 now with 24 seconds left in the second round. Shot in, hips back though. Lamoni, great stop.
He's going to, looks like he might try to, thought he was going to maybe barbed wire him for a second.
He did. He stepped over that leg though, got that 3 takedown. That cross face, maybe looking for some kind of Turk. Going to the third, we got a score of 12-2. But as we've seen in matches before, don't count us out.
Yeah.
They very well could come back. Lamoni going down.
Kind of gets thrown to the side a little bit. Not really great positioning with his hips, but he might be able to turn something into it if he can get that pressure on the head and get him turned. But now he's getting a little too far on the side. He needs to get a little bit higher up, or at least higher up on the back, and then push back behind the elbows. As he's getting stretched out, Lamoni is trying to pull that arm.
Pretty good leg riding for Bo. I haven't been in the high school room. I've been coaching the junior high this year. I haven't been in the high school room. So this is kind of new territory for me with Bo riding legs. I don't remember him being a leg rider, and so this is pretty new for me. But honestly, being in the room, wrestling with Trey Bradshaw, you know, who's a prolific leg rider, probably picked up a few things. So we're going to start over there, which actually is smart. Bo was getting out of position. Coach Jensen giving him some pointers, you know, let's get some more leverage. Leverage on that head, lift the arm.
So a minute 15 to go. He trails by 10 points.
Sneaks that leg in again. We are on our hip, though. That is the problem. We need to get our hips off the mat.
Get the legs
There
in,
we
stretch
go.
them out, and then go to work.
Then go to work, yep. He's a little high.
Get
He
that
really
second
wants that
one in,
second leg in.
which would help.
I almost
Is
feel
his
like
left leg still in? Yep, left
it
leg
is.
still
Left
in.
leg still in. I almost think
He's high.
Let's go to a crossbody because, yep, we're going to get stacked right here. Got that two reversal. O'Brien getting out of that
Oh,
stack.
oh, man. Did not like the way that shoulder was going. I'm glad the official was right there.
Yeah, that was a very smart call by the official. You know,
37 seconds to go.
good officials are great because they are intently watching the match and are able to catch those things because, you know, if Bo bends his arm, that's not illegal, or not illegal, but not potentially dangerous. But if he keeps his arm straight and it bends that weird way, you know, a lot of refs, they could miss that and, you know, it could lead to some injuries.
Which always makes me a little nervous with junior high kids and little league kids, and you have high school wrestlers there that you're like, please watch for them. And,
Yes.
you know, I heard about Coach Turner when they were wrestling Beaver, and there was the Bradshaw kid. When that was happening, Coach Turner was right in there pushing his kid off, getting on top of that Bradshaw kid who got injured pretty bad in there because he could see something was happening. So coaches being aware, officials being aware to try and just keep everyone safe. And
Yep. Yeah, and I heard about that, Coach Turner. Good on you. That was awesome. End of the match, 14-2 for Canyon View. Again, that Lamoni, he's a tough one. You know, though, we fix our position a couple things. You know, don't give up back points. That's a very close match.
Yeah.
You know, I tell my wrestlers all the time, keep the match close. Give yourself a chance. You know, there's things you can control in the match. There's things you can't. We can't control the ref. We can't control what move the other wrestler's going to try to do, but we can control ourselves.
You know, you seen the Canyon View wrestler Mona, he's just going off. That kid is flat worn out.
Yes, yes.
Bo really, you know, made him give everything that he had in order to doing that.
And that's one thing I love about Bo is he will give
Careful.
a full effort.
Oh. So they get high in the air. Easton Stefanoff makes some contact with the side of the face, and that's going to be technical violation. Alex Crawley, who's wrestling right now, this kid is good. He plays second as a sophomore, and then he plays second as a junior last year to Vlad Holman.
Yep.
And he was also an all-star participant, and, you know, Easton a freshman. Hopefully, you know, Easton's going to give it his all.
Probably
but
a deep
just
double up to a body lock. Good on Easton.
Yeah,
you know, Easton
good stopping
is just, you know, talk about a specimen of a freshman. He keeps at it. He's bound for greatness. You know, and as a freshman in these upper weights, you know. Yeah, and Crawley placing at Reno. You know, he trying to think who his competition is going to be at state.
You know, so last year he was 157, now 165. Ladd last year was 157, and now 190.
190, yeah. I saw Ladd the other day, and I thought, man, what a monster.
And what did he wrestle as a freshman, like a 126?
Yeah,
And I mean,
yeah, just amazing growth, amazing genetics. Looking for a cheap tilt right there. Good on Easton, stopping that. 45 seconds left. We're going to score of 10-2.
you know, there's no way to do it, but this would be a match if they were both seniors. It'd be fun to see, like, what an Easton's like in 3 years.
Yes.
Because he's going to be a dominant force.
100%. Easton looking for a sit out. Crawley puts him right to his back. It's 4 near fall.
You know, and there's been a couple matches this year where Easton's been a little behind, and, man, he catches a kid and pins him.
Yes.
And, you know, he's one that he has enough wrestling background. He's strong enough that if you make one little slip up, he'll make you pay for it.
And that's, you know, a lot of that also is mental toughness. Looking for a fall here. Got the fall. 8 seconds left in that first round. Alex Crawley with the fall over Easton Stefanoff. But, yeah, for being only a freshman, that kid has a lot of mental toughness, as well as physical toughness, as we can see. I mean, that kid is 14 years old, you know.
Kid he just wrestled, you know, for people who are putting money on it, probably going to be state champ at 165 pounds. I don't know who else. I can't have any names come to mind.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, I honestly can't think of who is going to be there at 165. So I would dare say Crawley for sure going to get that. So Colton Anderson, takedown, 175.
Well, I'm going to step away and let you take that for just a moment.
Colton Anderson wrestling Josiah Barker at 175. Colton with the takedown. He's looking for a head lever there. Cuts him. Colton Anderson is a junior. Nice takedown, head up. Stand your feet and drive, climb the body now. Got the 3 takedown, let's climb up, get some near fall points. Barker hanging on. Barker hanging on. Now belly's down. Colton riding tough. Looking for a shank here. Cuts him again. One more. (6-2), 25 seconds left. See if we can get another takedown. Got 2 takedowns and 2 escapes and a little bit of dance here right at the end of the first round. You know, that's one of those skills. If a wrestler can keep their stance and position the whole wrestling match, they are way ahead of 90% of wrestlers.
Yep. You know, and this is one of these matches that winning is good, pinning is better. As we look at the team score, 26-18, and he's a little bit of trouble.
Looking at a 2 near fall. Holding the count, he's got the same turn. He's going to give the 2 near fall now, so now we've got a 6-4 match.
Balling up again, not able to get cradled right there.
Let's work some hand control, working our way up.
Looks like he might try to fat man roll him a little bit.
It could be there. It definitely could be there. Kid hangs his arm enough there. It could work, but. You know,
But when you hit it, you got to hit it.
When you hit it, you got to hit it. And you can bait that as well. You can move, move, move. There we go. Coming to the stand up. Good. Hips away. Stay on that mat.
That should be the stall.
There's
Yep.
the stall. Very good. Peel the hands down. He's got to get his hips out a little bit. He's got really good getting in that position. If he can just throw his hips out and peel those hands down. Oh, stay up, stay up. Get another stall call. There's another stall. There's a point right there. Very good, Colton. Very good. Don't give up near fall, though. Don't give up near fall. Nope, nope, nope. Ah. Got that stall for that 1 point, and
it cost us
cost
4.
us 4 right there. Dang. So now Barker's going to be up 8-7. That's a big deal, right? I mean, you talk about defensively, chest and hips toward the mat always. If your chest and hips are up, you're getting scored on.
So what do you think this Canvey kid's going to do in the 3rd round? Do you think he's going to choose top? Or do you think he'll try to, because that's where he's had his success.
Oh, 8-7. I bet he goes down.
No, he chose
he's
top.
going top. He didn't even look at his coach. He's like, I'm going top. and the coach definitely could have told him something, but.
Officials appoint, or the ref is, or not the ref, the coach pointed over at the scoreboard for a second.
Wondering if that's the right call, or right score, probably, and it is. That is the right score, unfortunately.
Okay, just, you know
Could
what?
get another stall right
Fight
here,
the hands, but don't fight too fast.
Yeah, get a stall. There we
And
go.
then get the
and then
escape.
get away. You know, this kid, unfortunately, probably a newer wrestler, not quite sure. I'm not understanding why the coach won't let him cut him.
Now, is it possible for the Delta in this position, if they're on their feet, to just stand there long enough if he doesn't get down to ever get a stall themselves?
Yeah,
If they're not actively trying to escape?
If they're on bottom, I mean,
If they're standing up.
If they keep standing up, they won't get called for stalling.
Okay.
Yep. If they keep standing up,
So they don't have to make an
wrestle
effort to get away.
Not necessarily. No. I mean, the stand up is the effort at that point. And
But see,
so
here's
that's
where
like
Delta
the
needs to
action.
move.
Exactly. So we could very well get called. Yep.
Yep.
We're going to get called for stalling right here, which is unfortunate because there's a minute left, and if he doesn't move, he's going to get another stall call, and that's going to be the match.
Yep. Get up, come to your feet,
You know,
get a stall call,
one
get an
thing that'll
escape.
help, he's got to get his head up.
Yep.
The head down is the first key indicator that the ref's going to look at for a stall.
Right there. Now you're up.
There we go. Okay, so we got an escape there. Very good. Okay, now let's just be smart and wrestle. He's got to be in good stance. We talked about the basics, and this is where the basics are extremely important. Good stance. Why? Because we can counter if we need to. We can take a good shot. No reason to take a bad shot here. Now, see, we need to fix our stance. We need to circle forward.
Yep.
So we're going to
Careful,
get called for stall
careful.
here.
Yep,
We're
right
backing
there,
up.
right
Here
there,
comes a
right there.
stall.
It's stall call.
There's a stall right there.
Yeah, there's no.
a
He
point.
cannot call that right there.
Yeah, I mean, anybody would have called that, and that's unfortunate. So we are tied 9-9. We need to take down a win.
There you go. Finish it.
Nice
Finish it.
shot.
Finish
Keep
it.
your hips in. Suck it in tight. Put your left foot up.
Keep that leg. Bring it in.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Head up.
Don't
Head up.
finish it. Finish it.
There's a takedown right there. They're going to call that.
Not yet. He's got a little bit forward.
Ooh, swivel his
He's
hips
got 5
out.
seconds. He's got to hold on. If he could lock
Grab
it
that
up, he
leg.
might
Grab
make
that
it.
leg.
No, hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Nope, that's going to be a problem.
Yep,
Oh,
there's the three.
man, but he
Nice.
gave it right at the very end. He's
Very.
nodding his head, yes, with probably 1 second to go. Oh,
No, that's a heartbreaker because unfortunately I would have agreed with that.
Yep.
That's a takedown. And, you know, you talk about grit, you talk about guts. You know, Colton did the right thing for taking a shot. You know, we got to avoid that stall call. And in those situations, you know, we're stuck underneath. We know we just got to hang on. Don't give up the points. Because he's not going to get called for stalling, hanging onto the leg.
now
because they were both neutral, and so they would have just gotten a stalemate, right? So he's asking the time. Was timeout?
was the
Or
timeout
was it-
when it buzzed, or was it timeout before that?
Yes, yes.
And it looks like he's going to say that it was when it buzzed.
So.
Or he's looking at the
Yeah,
scoreboard.
I'm
Maybe they're
curious
going to
what's he
go in.
doing. I wonder if they're doing overtime. Shake hands. Okay, there we go. Takedown.
Okay.
Which is, again, that's a heartbreaker. That's extremely unfortunate.
Yep.
You
And that-
got to give it to that Canyon View kid, though, for keeping going.
100%.
Right?
And the thing that's hard about that, not just for Colton, but now we look at the team score, that's a 6-point flip. We could have had 3 more points. They could have been down. Now we're all sudden down to a 5-point match.
You know,
And
and
we've got 3
unfortunately,
more kids that, you know, we've got some tough kids from Canyon View
Last
coming
3
up
kids are
over
tough.
some younger kids for Delta.
Yes, yes. You know, again, we don't count our kids out. However, you know, we look at these kids coming up, and this is some pretty tough kids from Canyon View. They got a tough team this year.
Yep.
You know,
And right there, we've got a tough kid.
Yes, we do.
And I'd say out of the 3, this is the one I like the most to be able to do it.
Yes. You know, Wyatt Harris. I mean, you talk about a kid. He gained a bunch of weight. You know, a lot of it muscle. He's very strong. You know, if we can get this pin pretty quickly, that would help a lot. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That one's gonna haunt me for a day or two. But that's all right.
But, you know, all these matches, you know, whether the outcome or not, they're a teachable moment. And let's do it at a duel versus divisionals. Let's do it at a
100%.
duel instead of at state.
I think I mentioned this earlier. This duel specifically, with them not even being in our division, this just practice, right? Good practice. I mean, this is the kind of practice you want. Wrestling very tough kids, and we will learn from this, all right? Colton Anderson can learn, you know. We don't give up those near fall points. You don't give up those near fall points when you get brought back down. That like 3rd time or whatever it was, he wins that match, right?
Yeah, staying and circling in the center of the mat rather than kind of being pushed out, that can win
Yes,
the match. There's just
100%.
little things that, you know they're
that's
going to
a-
watch and go back and say, what, we're not going to do that again. And this is how
Exactly.
we prevent that.
And that is a Coach Joe Morris thing right there. It's the little things. And you preach it, and a lot of these kids won't figure that out until after they leave, and that's great, you know. But if they can remember that and then apply it to their lives, that's the important thing.
You know, I think of like a match at state when Braden Davis, he was in the finals match. He was wrestling a really undersized kid who was really fast, really aggressive, and the coaches had a great game plan, and it was you stay in that little circle.
Yep.
And if you do that, you're not going to get called for assault. And he did an amazing job against a kid who was deceivingly strong and light and fast,
Yes.
and it turned out to be a great strategy.
Yes.
And that was something that they understood what Braden's strengths were and what that kid's strengths were, and they took away what he would do. And what he would do is he'd try to get you moving and out of position, and then he'd shoot and scoot to the outside.
Yep.
And if you couldn't take away the footwork, and so coaches have a great way of seeing that and teaching these young men what to do. Because some of these kids they've seen, it's hard the first time you wrestle them to know what to do. But now when you've wrestled them a couple of times throughout the year, you start to get your game plans and, you know, hopefully flip the script on them a little bit at state.
Modern technology makes that so great and accessible as well. You know, the stat girls being able to record the matches, and then the kids can actually get on to that MatBoss app and see their match right then. They can watch it right away. They don't have to wait for their parents to. I mean, back in our day, it was let's look at the actual film, you know? And now they can just go on their phone and they just pull it up right away and watch it on the ride home. And that's a big deal, you know? I remember a lot of the kids would come up to coaches and say, hey, let's watch this match together. And
Well, and these stat girls do a little bit better than what my mom did. A lot of my matches, you know, you had the camera right on the action, and then it kind of veered off to the side and back as they were watching.
oh, I agree 100%.
And so these stat girls, they really do like keep the focus. They know what their job is and provide that good feedback to the wrestlers.
My mom had to end up giving the camera to somebody else every time I wrestled or my brothers wrestled because we'd go back and watch, be like, Mom, it's not even us. Like, it's all over the place. And so she'd have to give it to a neighbor or one of her friends. And Wyatt looking for something here.
20 seconds to do it. If he can spin around behind, he might right
go.
there. Keep going, keep going. Oh, he's getting a little high.
Yeah, don't stop, though. Don't stop the fight there.
12 seconds. Second period.
Understand
Careful,
the
careful. Don't give it up.
position.
Don't give it up. Wow, that was kind of almost, I mean, he did get it, but it almost felt slightly quick when he was already putting those three
I
fingers
agree.
up.
I would agree with that. That was pretty quick of a call, but
Even if
it
it was a second later, I probably would have been like, okay, I see it.
he did end up getting it. You know, Wyatt putting up a great fight. We got a 4-3 match. We're going neutral. Great call.
Wyatt
You know,
looking
let's
to
take this kid
maybe
down.
snap him down, get in position to do that.
Situations like this, both kids are tired. You know, heavy hands. Working on that head is a huge thing because it affects the opponent's psyche. They think
Uh-oh,
they're
now we're
getting
into a throw
tired. They're looking for a
situation.
headlock
You're going to
here.
do it, but don't roll through.
Gets his hips to the mat, got him on his back, looking for the fall. This would be great. Awesome headlock by Wyatt.
Good position.
Very good. We got that fall. Great job, Wyatt. Awesome. Great headlock against a stout kid there.
Yeah, that kid was state qualifier last year. Good kid.
Looks like he's 30 years old. Goodness.
So that's going to make the team score 32-21. 2 more matches to go. So
I did go to public school, but I think I can do this math correctly. We have to not get pinned in one of these matches.
Yep.
We have to not get pinned in one of these matches. And both kids out there, Corbin Curtis at 215 and Cole Bailey at heavyweight, have the capability to do that. They have the capability to win. Now, these Killian kids
Oh,
are
there we
tough.
go, there we go. Oh, good
Corbin
move.
coming off an extremely rough Achilles injury. I mean, you talk about one that's just a freak accident that is just so debilitating.
Now, I need to mention that Tate Killian, he was second place last year at
I
state.
think this is Carter
Or
Killian.
is this Carter
yeah,
Killian?
this is Carter
Oh, Tate
Killian.
will be at the
Tate
next
will be
one.
the heavyweight, and yes,
Okay.
Tate Killian did take second behind Trevin Boger.
Yeah, which, that kid.
That kid's a phenom, 100%.
Yeah.
Got a good match going on.
You know,
Oh,
Corbin,
he
again, you start
noticed
talking
some
about,
blood.
we look at these 3 freshmen that have wrestled varsity today. All 3 of them have really strong mentalities.
Yes.
A lot of times you get some freshmen in here, they maybe second guess themselves, there's whatever, but they all go out there of like, I'm going to try and win this.
Yes.
Ranger, Easton, and Corbin. And
Yeah, they're definitely not giving up without a fight for sure, and that's a great quality to have, especially as a freshman. And if they can stick with that and not get upset about losses, I mean, they're gonna excel. You know, I mean, and being freshmen, what a great thing to look forward to. 3 more years of this.
yeah, how awesome it is to have a a freshman at 215.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. And if Easton can keep growing, you
Yeah.
know, I see him at 190 senior year even, you know, depending on what goes on, right? Who knows? But, golly, 215
Or
pounds.
let's put Corbin at heavyweight. Let's put Easton at 215 and get some other
Yes.
kids to fill in those
oh
others.
my goodness, right? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But that, you know, Corbin Curtis definitely has the genetics for it. And he hits the weight room hard. He has a great mentality, work ethic. That's going to take them far.
Yep.
Kids with work ethics, that will overcome technique any day. Great single leg, sucking it in. Killian does a great job to back away from that. He just goes out hard. He does not care who these kids are, how old they are. Corbin goes out hard. I've seen him lose some very close matches, and he gets pretty upset about it. But man, I just have the utmost respect for that kid.
You know, and he's a kid, again, who has enough strength and enough wrestling background that if you give him a chance, he's going to capitalize
Great
on it.
single leg for Corbin. Excellent. We got blood time red again. That's okay. I honestly will take a little bit of blood time.
Okay, 3-0, 36 seconds to go in the first period. Delta 32, Canyon View 21. And as Coach Wilby said, just don't lose or get pinned on one of these next 2 matches, and Delta should win the duel.
Or better yet, let's win this match.
No,
Right? I mean,
it'll be
we're,
even better.
we're up 3-0. I mean, this is great. And again, we got 2.5 rounds left still, but that's great. You know,
Yeah.
Corbin going out with that gusto. You know, let's ride him out 36 seconds, maybe even get a turn. And yeah, man, that's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Good forward
great
pressure.
breakdown. Good pressure, digging those toes into the mat.
Crossface again.
Keep that pressure forward. Don't let them come up. Go break down again. Nice ankle.
I got
Very good
that
at
leg
that.
trapped a little bit. Now he's trying to get some
Trying
type
to
of
get
turn.
a half. Yep, and
There he comes. Keep it
has
in,
to
keep
get
it in,
If
keep
we
it in.
can keep that kid
Get it.
inbounds,
12 seconds.
We're gonna get a pin here.
Let's get a pin.
We're gonna get a pin right there. We got a pin.
Yeah. I hope you could see the Delta wrestlers over here on the left. They're on the edge. Student section up, standing up. And the freshman Corbin Curtis, fresh off of an injury, comes in and gets a really critical pin. And we still have one more match, but he guaranteed
He
the
guaranteed the team
duel.
win. He guaranteed the team win. What a great job by Corbin. And oh man, that was just cool. That was awesome. What a great job. Corbin needed that.
Yeah.
I've watched him all year, and that's such a hard weight to be at, man. And for him to go out there and do that for the team, you know, that's a big deal. Great job. Killian getting a quick takedown on Cole Bailey here. Killian, like you said, is a second place finisher at state last year behind Traven Boger.
Yeah, and with Boger being with South Summit dropping to 2A,
2A.
Killian is now #1 in the 3A rankings.
Yes, he deserves it. That kid is tough, wrestles hard, placed at Reno. And honestly, a great kid. I've talked to him personally. At the state tournament last year, actually, his dad was sitting right behind me and Coach Nilsson, and we watched his rep match with Boger, and what a great family, you know. Wish them the best this year.
So those two that just wrestled, 215 and heavyweight, are they brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, those two are brothers.
A little different build a bit, you know.
Oh, yeah, and I can see that Tate Killian, you know, put on some muscle from last year. And he's going to go out there and be a force to reckon with at state and divisionals. You know, good on Cole Bailey, man. I'm just so happy he is still here wrestling. I mean, that kid, he's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's hitting the weight room hard and learning so many moves, and honestly filling a spot that Delta just desperately needs.
Yeah. Do you know what he weighs? I mean,
Before season, I know he was 300. about.
really?
He was about 300.
Well, that's where you
yeah,
want your
so he-
linemen.
Exactly, yeah. And I wish we could recruit every single one of those linemen to come
You
in
know,
and fight over for that heavyweight spot.
Like,
But
it just, I mean, I'll use Coulter Bloomfield, who we had a couple years ago. He is, I mean, you saw his footwork as a, junior. And then he's like, I want to get better. He comes into the wrestling room, and you could see the difference
yes,
from the beginning of the season to the end on what his footwork was.
100%.
And so then his senior year, his footwork on the football field was so much better.
Phenomenal.
And then he liked wrestling, and he stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, Coulter Bloomfield was the biggest reason why Cole Bailey decided to wrestle. Their families are good friends, and, I think that's been good. So I don't know how you convince those kids. I think sometimes they're worried that they're a little late in the game to start, and you're not. Come to the room. These coaches are great men. They're going to help you turn into a great man, and you're going to be better for football. You're going to be better with everything. So many transferable skills that come from wrestling.
100%. If you're listening out there, give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Got nothing to lose, right?
A lot of times when I watch these high school football games, I'll see a great tackle from another kid on a team. I don't know their numbers and that, so I look it up, and I'm familiar enough with the wrestling kids. I'm like, oh yeah, that kid has to be a wrestler, and I look it up, and sure enough, it's a kid. They know how to use their hips
100%.
and some different things. So Delta now, they are got a tournament this weekend. They're heading to the Rockwell Rumble, and tell us a little bit about that. That's kind of a bigger dog tournament.
Rockwell Rumble National Tournament, what's nice, I guess, this year is they've already hit the Reno tournament. At least 5, I think, of the kids went to the Reno tournament. They're going to take a few more to the Rockwell Rumble, I believe. And it definitely won't have the same caliber of competition as Reno, but there will still be a lot of tough kids there. And just a great one to go out, get some really good, dare I say, practice matches in. I mean, if you think about it, right, a lot of our kids, their goal isn't necessarily to win the Rockwell Rumble. Their goal is
to get
place
better.
in state and get better, even win state. And that in itself right there, they go to that Rockwell Rumble, they're going to get some great matches. Great tournament for them. And then the week after is divisionals. We're getting right down to it.
Yeah, and so as I have the schedule brought up here, this got sent to me by the tournament host, says that the Division B tournament for boys is Friday, January 23rd.
Just all day Friday.
All day Friday. So they're going to start wrestling at 10 a.m. They're going to do all of their rounds, and the finals is scheduled to start at 6 p.m. So not too many kids would, kind of exceed, what they've said is that historical match limit. But I think they just said, one more match is they're going to be fine. And that's probably going to be mostly kids that are trying to get that 9th place spot,
100%.
trying to wrestle for that true 9th place. They know, in case of a injury, who's going to take that.
Yes, that is it right there. And they say there's not very many of those, because it also could mean a kid that loses their very first match and comes all the way back and takes 9th, right? They could hit that 6th match, but there's not very many that do. And so they say, well, we can make an exception because there won't be very many, and 6 matches is 6 matches.
Yeah.
It's another match.
And 10 a.m. to starts at 6, so done 7:30. That's a long day, but it's a long day if you don't have
It is
all in one day, and you come back the next day. And
it is.
Come
And
back.
we got that long ride home, and I'll wish them the best of luck this weekend. And
So yeah, we'll bring that live to you on Delta Rabbit or Delta Wrestling on YouTube. We may also have a second camera because they have 2 gyms, and so we'll also have some of those broadcasted on Delta Rabbits TV. And then February 4th and 5th, we're headed to the state tournament.
Yep.
That's going to be at the Sevier Valley Center in Richfield.
Yep. Great place to have it. And, quick little shout out to this weekend. Also for our junior high, it's their state tournament. So wish those boys best of luck. We're going to go hard, and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. How many young men do you have in that?
Right now we have 57 kids signed up for that. And, we started the year hovering between 60, 65. So getting 57 of them signed up for the state tournament, right, it was a big deal. I think that's pretty good. Our whole goal coming into it was, I wanted the kids to have fun and be excited to come back the next year. If we're talking about growing the Delta Wrestling program, it has to start at the bottom. It has to start at our feeder program. And I think it's working, you know, get these kids excited and get them to come in, and it's a process, but, you know, we're already seeing a lot of great things, and yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Okay. Well, I want to do one more thing just to finish off the night before you give us some of your final takeaways is, you know, we
let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder, don't you know? The hardest part is over, let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away, but these small hours still remain. Let it slide. Let your troubles fall behind you. Let it shine till you feel it all around you. And I don't mind if it's me you need to turn to. We'll get by. It's the heart that really matters in the end. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away.
way to, you know, think of him just everywhere in the community you went. I mean, I'm obviously involved with the FFA. He was a huge contributor to that. He was on the stock show board forever. I mean, there's just kind of like anywhere you go in the community, the church that he was involved in, he just was, you know, a very unassuming person who left a lasting impact in so many different places in this community.
I agree, 100%.
So our love and thoughts go with the Mortensen family, with Connie, with her children and all of them. Appreciate all that you allowed your husband to do to make Delta a better place to live. So as we just change gears for some final thoughts, Coach Willoughby, anything that stuck out from today that you'd share with anyone watching?
You know, a lot of thoughts, right? It comes down to wrestling for the team, comes down to actively thinking about what's going on in the match. You know, we talk about some of those matches, Colton Anderson, even like Bo Bryan, right? We change our position a little bit, we fix it a little bit, and those are totally different matches. We still got away with the team win, which is amazing. You know, I hope they take that going into divisionals next week, going on in a high, and you know, I really hope it helps the team bonding. But overall, I was very impressed with the way that we were wrestling. Yes, there's a couple things to fix, but that's a good sign. If there's nothing to fix, there's a problem.
Yep, wanting to get better. Well, I appreciate being on the call with us tonight, and we wish Delta good luck at the Rockwell Rumble this week, and we'll be back hopefully broadcasting those tomorrow and the next day. And then divisionals next week, we'll for sure be doing it. And unlikely we'll be able to broadcast tape, but we'll at least find that on the radio with Mid-Utah Radio. So thanks, Coach Willoughby, for being part of this, and go Rabbits.
It's a pleasure, Chad. Thank you. Go Rabbits.